Hello, internets.
Ooh, we are live.
Yes, we are.
Mike, do you mind if I do quick intros and then I'll hand it
Do
over to
it.
you? Awesome, cool. So, hey everyone, welcome to the stream. I am David. This is High Shelf Gaming. Mike here is running the game, Blades in the Dark. Thank you, Mike. And we've also, of course, got Katrina playing as Maribel and Casey playing as Ghost, or
So,
the Hound, and Ethan playing as Demas, the Spider, and I am Empty Ohm, as the Leech. We have another player who could make it tonight, Scott, playing Maisley, the weird, creepy
The
whisperer
Whisper.
one.
Yep.
Yeah. And I wasn't here last stream, but I gather that Maisley made an appearance in mask and wig.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
It was
Good
a fine
times.
evening. You missed
sure.
some
Good
quality moments of content creation.
Yeah. So that'll all be. I think that's still on our Twitch channel, and that will all be going onto the YouTube post haste whenever I get to it. So the next thing is for tonight's game, we are going to be giving away a copy of Legend Keeper, which is super awesome. It is a campaign tracking, game tracking tool. You can have all your campaign maps, and you can like nest maps within maps, and then it comes with this like wiki backend where you can put some players in charge of the wiki, and you add stuff to it, and all kinds of cool things. So we're going to be giving away a license for Legend Keeper, a beta key for Legend Keeper, and we'll do that at the break. I'm super pumped for that. And let's see other things. We're working on a bunch of Gen Con stuff. I think all of you are doing Gen Con stuff. Like Casey, you're going to be there. Ethan's going to be there.
Yep.
Mike and Katrina, you're both running games. I'm running games. Like,
We're gonna make Ethan run a game.
are we?
We are.
Putting
hooked her by
finishing
crook.
touches
Yeah.
on it. Hope they'll have it ready by Friday. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you
Well-
will.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do it, and I'll figure it out after the fact.
So it should be like Ethan runs a game, short description, done. Long description. Ethan will figure out what game he's running.
I know. I know a game. I know the basic premise. It'll be fine.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Long
everybody's
description?
got like we
Wait,
got
long
48
descriptions
hours
are
to answer
optional.
all the other questions. I've got
Descriptions
game
are
chosen. I just need a story and
The rest.
characters and everything else, and to understand the rules. And yeah,
We have months
There's
before
the one
that.
that puts
couple
that poll
details. I know. Yeah.
I don't do anything in July. That's plenty of time. I got all of July.
There it is. So yeah, we are super pumped for Gen Con. It's gonna be a huge year for us. I think those are all my announcements. We were pumping a really cool Kickstarter. Katrina, your friend Patch did a Kickstarter, and that's completed, funded super well. Did he get all of his stretch goals?
Yep, he did get all of his stretch goals. So they will be using all Portland artists. They're going to have really nice bindings on the books, and they
Yeah.
are currently going into play testing. And then he'll release the keys to the kingdom, and
Yeah.
I will probably be running a couple games of it eventually.
And
Is
that
there
is,
like late backing or anything like that, or
Say again?
It's Terranary is what it's called, and I'm sure that at some point you can hand him $12 to get access to the zine, because it's a zine. It's like a
Yes.
40-page
Mhm.
rule book and world setting and everything, like super
And
old school.
there'll be adventures and other things coming out for it as the year goes on. So yeah, they're just he's just trying to get everything ready to go.
Super dope. I'm into it. I think those are all of our announcements. Kickstarter's done. We're going to be giving away Legend Keeper at the break. And yeah, I think, Mike, I can turn it back over to you, man.
All right, sounds good. Yeah. So, yes, welcome to everybody for coming out tonight to play. Hope everybody's like watching. Yes, we're playing Blades in the Dark. Everybody here has made a character who's a member of the Faceless, a crew of shadows. They're spies and saboteurs and all that kind of good stuff. Last time, most of the characters got to like do their downtime actions in the city. Talk to friends, work on personal projects, find some information around the city, and try to come up with an idea for things for advancing the crew that they wanted to do for a score this time. So I think this time around, for a score, we're probably looking at trying to grab you guys a claim off of the claims map for the crew. Before we do that, I did want to take a chance to try to give Ohm, since you did not get to do downtime last time, I wanted to give you a chance to do that.
Okay. Is there yes, so
So,
thank you. Is there a way to I don't want to take tons of table time. I don't know how much downtime normally takes. So
so it's only we can keep it fairly brief. There's a limited number of options to choose from for things to do.
okay.
So there will be a handout that popped up for you there,
Oh,
and
yes.
just to be nice and share everywhere, that should show up on stream. Um, so yeah, when you have the time between scores, the things you can do are try to acquire something that's going to be helpful to you guys in the future for another score, work on a long-term project. If you've been hurt, it's not D&D where you take a long rest and then you're fine again. You have to go see a doctor and like work through getting healed and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
So sometimes you have to recover. Um, you can reduce the amount of heat, the number of people who are like kind of keeping their eyes out, have like issues with your crew. You can train where you can trade in your downtime actions for XP essentially.
Mm.
Um, or you can indulge your vice, which will let you recover off that stress meter.
Gotcha. And so I just pick one of these, and that's going to be
You
my
get two of them whenever we hit the downtime phase.
okay.
So
Okay. Well,
um,
I
I
definitely
will
want to be.
mention that
Yeah, go ahead.
last time the crew did get a visit from the representative of your as yet unnamed patron, or as yet unknown patron, Cinder, who's accompanied by a Whisper. Actually, here I can pop him up too,
That
because
our whisper messed with.
Oh,
yes, that Maisley tried to
whoa.
mess with his. He had a ghost of his own, and Maisley tried to mess with it, and
Was Cinder
people
the
were
ghost?
no. So Cinder, she is a representative for uh, Cinder works for your patron.
Okay.
Okay. Cinder's the go-between between the patron and you. You've never met the patron. You're not entirely sure who it is. They're interested in the masks. So Cinder's job is to come back through and be like, hey, just wanted to let you know he's interested in the masks. So you guys been working on that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
And then Tuhan is a whisper who is kind of like accompanying her and working with her.
Okay.
She when they left, she was dressed in a clothing style from the Imperial City, not from Duskfall. So she's from somewhere else. As is Tuhan, he's actually Severosi.
Okay. And all that's resolved. Like they came in, visited the crew, and we've agreed to or
Yeah.
not agreed to whatever steps.
We told them you were out.
Sweet. That is
Yeah.
great. That is awesome. Way to use me as an excuse. I love it.
They wanted to remind us that they wanted the mask technology that you were working on when it was done.
Okay. And just so I understand, do we want to hand that over to them as soon as it's ready, or is that something we want to kind of hold on to for a little bit?
Don't think we've decided.
Okay.
It's a bridge to cross later, I think.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So for my two downtime actions, I was thinking I was going to work on my long-term project, which was the masks. And
sounds like you have people breathing down your neck to try to make sure that you do so. So yeah.
right. Yeah. So that would be what I would consider reasonable if I want to keep our patron feeling like things are progressing. At the very least, as part of my long-term project, I will be producing materials that show that we're working on the masks. So like rubbings, etchings of the masks, you know, a rough schematic with like little notes drawn out about what I think it can do and how it pairs with other masks, how that bond is formed with a spark energy and all of those things. So doing engineering things, right?
Okay.
Inventory type things where it's like, here, look, we're busy.
We have been doing all the things. Can't you see?
Yes. Can't you see the papers? But then also actually working on the thing, inventing these masks and making them something that we could share with the patron when ready to do so.
Okay. So Did I? Yeah, okay, I did pop everybody over there, it looks like. Um, I have this other screen here for keeping track of clocks and stuff. I kind of spitballed what some of the things you had talked about with the masks might be as clocks to work on.
Cool.
But the idea when you do one of these, like advanced, the sorry, pull the list up again. Long-term project is that you would roll. We described like you're probably using Tinker. You're working on the masks and doing all this stuff, and then you would make a Tinker roll, and then based on that, you'll tick a number of ticks on one of the clocks.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I was kind of looking at them as top to bottom, and indented ones require the one that's above them.
So like loading faces into the mask would be like the top item to say this mask is keyed or paired to this person and represents them in some way.
That's
kind of thing.
Yeah, and that one's like the ability to like just change what appears on it, kind of deal.
Cool. Perfect. And that would be the first one that I would really. Oh, that makes sense. Putting faces on and then changing faces,
And then
and
being able
then
to associate a face with something or an item, and yeah, right, like
yep. And then we got to get through pairing before I can get into the big one, which is secret communication between two
Yeah.
or maybe more masks,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay. Perfect. Then I would absolutely love to spend at least one of my 2 downtime actions on loading faces into the mask, so the masks may take on other visages.
Okay.
That sounds horrifying, by the way.
Right? Because the way I see them is there are these like matte black or Vanto black, black 2.0, black 3.0, like just deep black masks, right? That don't reflect any light. And then so like maybe out of the murky depths of the mask, a face appears. And because the base blackness is so deep and so rich, like almost any face could appear, just kind of coming up out of the inky well, which is the mask. That's how I kind of see it taking on these
Horrifying.
faces.
I love how
Perfect.
Like a
the
face
thing,
stealer.
yeah, the thing you want to work on is the thing that's like making Demas cringe. Like, it's like
Yes. Perfect. That's exactly.
Demas has got a lot of that going on, right?
Yeah.
Like I think half the people in his life are just like,
That's how I know we're on the right path, right? Is to
I'm
if Demas
completely
is not
normal.
if Demas is not totally on board, this is probably the right direction.
I mean, he's on board. That doesn't mean he has to like it and be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
The scare factor is nice, but he just doesn't like looking at it. Like wearing it is fine, but looking at it, nope.
Just go back to staring at your pin map, man.
That's right. I need my pin map with my strings.
Oh my god. Yes. Okay, good. So how do I advance this? It's
so we pop open your character sheet, and you describe like you in the workshop. Actually, that's probably another complication. I'm not going to mess with it for right now. Is that we don't actually have a workshop.
right.
So we might need to look at that as like a precursor to like some of those later.
Yeah, and I think that's good
ones.
actually.
Yeah.
I think saying, maybe that's part of the deal is I'm in a design phase working out the math of everything or the spark engineering of everything because I don't have a workshop yet because they got smashed. Right? Like
Yep.
I'm into that as a complicator.
Okay.
I don't want to be perfect. I want
Then I think you're still in a position to make progress on it.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to we'll roadblock the progress before we can completely progress.
Yeah, so maybe
Until
we can't even do this first wheel until I get
like you
some
can
kind
get
of
like
workshop.
halfway through the wheel or however much you're going to get off this first roll for sure. But like you're not going to we may even be able to like get like 5 out of 6 on it or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that. And maybe, if I can't do it, then maybe I can do a little bit of design work on the future stuff as like a thought experiment. But I do like the idea that really all progress is stymied until I get a real workshop, and that's fun to me. All right. Okay.
So actually if you wanted to So you do get the 2 actions, right? So one of them you could use it to train, you can use it for the one of the options is acquire asset. So if you wanted to like get access to a workshop somewhere and then be doing work there, that's a way that you could be working on it.
Yeah, let's
But then
do.
there's also like the workshop upgrade for the crew, which you wouldn't have to keep spending to get access to do the work.
Right. Yeah. So let me do the first long-term project, see how we do. And what I was thinking is I could either do the acquire asset or reduce heat for the crew, because the crew still has some heat on it, right?
So the crew, if they
You
have
have
heat, they
one.
have very, very little. Yeah, because a couple
Oh,
people
okay.
did reduce heat last
Oh,
time.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
both
well
Ethan
then.
and I did. So
I was hobnobbing with Scotlander nobles
Yes.
for my whole downtime. So
Perfect.
I was just hanging out with Bazo Baz, just checking in on him.
Yeah.
he insulted our crew, by the way, so he's on the hit list.
He did and he didn't. Like, he wasn't sure which one, the faceless or
Yeah.
the unseen.
Well, no, I think he said it couldn't be the faceless. They're nothing.
Yeah, so it was something along those lines.
Perfect.
It was
Hey,
pointed.
that's a huge reduction in heat, guys. That's just
Yeah.
great.
Right.
Okay, so I want to do the long-term project first, and then I think it'd be kind of neat if I've got this this rival inventor, Jewel. No, not Jewel. Stasia, the apothecary, and maybe like I'd have to go to Stasia or something like that. Or I don't know. Maybe there's another one I could reach out to. But let's do the design phase for a long-term project, and that's just a role of tinker.
Yeah.
Okay. So position is probably controlled.
Actually, where you're doing kind of research right now, you can use Tinker if you like. It would also probably make sense if you wanted to use Study. I don't know if either of those is better than the other for you or not.
I'd probably prefer to do tinker at this point.
Cool.
Okay. And that would be a controlled thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then effect is probably standard.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, the downtime actions are essentially, I think they work as like fortune rolls. There's not really position and effect, but it's just
okay.
part of the dialogue for the thing.
Okay, cool. So went on through a 5 and a 4, so a little bit of progress at least, I think.
Yeah, that's actually 2. If I go to the right
Better
window
than I
here.
think any of us got.
Sweet.
Yeah, so a 4 or a 5 is 2 ticks on the clock.
Okay.
So
nice.
Perfect. Perfecto.
So yeah, pretty much everybody has started a downtime clock like that for something, and the only other person who managed 2 ticks last time was Griffith.
Oh,
sorry,
nice.
Maribel. Yeah, you don't have a long-term project. But...
well, excellent. So that's really exciting. And then I think for my next trick, let's do. Oh, I kind of want to indulge a vice, but I've only got 2 stress, so it feels like maybe
there's a real good chance that you would overindulge your vice, which
it's bad.
Hey, it's fun for me, but
yeah. All right, good. All right, so yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and start working on getting some assets. Try and find a line on a workshop, a loaner workshop or something like that I can get my hands on to make the next breakthrough in these masks. And maybe we just note that I've got that asset for the next downtime or something along those lines. If that's possible.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Okay.
So yeah, roll the crew's tier. Okay.
Our tier is
so it's a fortune roll. Yeah.
Your tier is 0.
Your tier is 0 right now, so.
Perfect. So where do I hit the? You can find the fortune roll. Fortune.
I think it's like on the bottom of the right column of the character sheet.
Yeah, there it is. Roll fortune. Number of dice. 1 dice or 0 dice? 0.
0.
Okay. Notes. Ohm asset hunt. All right. Yeah, not so great.
That's like us on our healing rolls.
Yeah.
Wrong game.
So yeah, it says I'm supposed to give you access to one that is in tier -1, which is effectively like nothing. Yeah. So
No, you're fine.
You find a table.
yeah, I think that may be it. Like kind of like you said, there's definitely a table you could use that probably has several of like the kind of like reagents and things you could use for trying to accomplish this. And it's right in the back of Stasia's shop.
Yes.
So you'd get to have Stasia breathing down your neck the whole time if you wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think I'll skip on having Stasia there watching me work. So, thank you, Stasia, for your generous offer.
Can I frame that scene a little bit differently for you?
Yes, please.
Like you're like, I know she's got it, and I know I can go in there, and it's like it's kind of like that view. It's like it's been raining for the last couple days, and it's fairly heavy, like thundering and stuff. And you're like across the street, looking at the front of her apothecary shop, and you're like, no, I'm not gonna go in there and do it. And like as you do, like the door of the shop opens, and a couple of lamp blacks come out. One has like a little wooden keg thing that he's like carrying on his shoulder, and the other has like a sack over his shoulder. That like looks like they're carrying stuff that's not super big but fairly heavy. And they leave the shop, and as they kind of like walk past the window, there's like Stasia in the window, like just death stare, just like.
Yeah. So then Ohm is gonna like look at her and do the like, "What are you up to?" stare, and then slink away into the darkness.
Yeah.
I see you. Handing over whatever that keg of stuff was.
All right, so we have completed your first downtime. Congratulations.
Excellent.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks everybody for coming out. It's been a great show. Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we are done.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, we are doing like real stuff tonight, not just keeping up with my thing.
Yes. Let me. So I think
to catch you up.
Yes, please go ahead.
I think to catch you up, our plan.
Sorry.
We found I believe it was a tower of some sort or a building that had like some empty space in the middle that we could use as a. I think in game mechanics, it's an enticing location for some covert like item drop-offs, so that people will pay us more if we. They'll pay us more to use that place. So if we acquire that place, we just get more payment for things.
Gotcha. It's like a good dead drop spot, and because we've got this extra security, it's good for everybody. They're willing to pay more.
+2 coin for espionage or sabotage missions is the benefit for this, and so we kind of scouted out a little place, which I can't remember exactly what part of the city it was in. But.
So I should have gone back and watched to make sure that I'm getting all the details right. So I think it was in 6 Towers.
Yes.
Which used to be not. I don't want to call it like super posh or anything like that, but it's been kind of like on the decline. So yeah, you got a lead on a place where there is a building in 6 Towers. And in part of the corner of this stone building, I think like it used to be like a dumbwaiter or something like that. That got like part of it's blocked, but like it's accessible from the outside, this shaft.
Sure.
So it's a place that people can drop things off and pick them up.
6 Towers is also where Quellen is, the creepy kid's witch.
Quellwyn.
Quellwyn. Oh yeah, we also
Quellwyn's
decided.
Quaffs.
We also decided that Quellen has a speech
I think
impediment.
We's a strong word, but it was decided.
So hold on, where this 6 Towers place is this all the way at the top of Crow's Nest, or is this like several
This is
layers down
another-
closer to
it's like
the
another
Yeah, so
borough.
six
the
towers is
waterways?
another district.
Oh, okay, it's
Yeah.
another district. So Crow's Foot, where we're above a waterway and everything's all on top of itself, multi-layered, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
Six
yeah, you
towers.
guys are
Oh wow, way
from
up there. Okay.
Crow's Foot, which is down here.
Yep.
And then Six Towers spans kind of along the east part of the city.
Okay. All right.
Isn't that? Didn't we say that was
Oh.
where the vampire's mansion thing was, or no?
I'm pretty sure that's where Lord Skurlock's mansion is as well. Yes.
Great, perfect. There's a little cross section from the book.
Yeah. And so does Six Towers have the same like crazy multi-layered situation that Crow's Foot does, or is it like more on ground and not on a waterway?
There's still a lot of waterways around. Six Towers is certainly lower to the ground. It used to have a lot of like big kind of elaborate houses, like the one that you're talking about here is like several stories tall. It used to be like somebody's manor house kind of deal, but it kind of fell into disrepair.
Gotcha.
Like there are places in Six Towers where it is like groups of people squatting in basically abandoned buildings.
Oh, cool. So like junkie houses and stuff like that, but maybe not at all strung out, but that same kind of gig where it's like squatters and you got to kind of fight for your room and stuff like that.
Squatter.
Yeah.
Point of note, the map is turned differently from Legend Keeper to Roll20.
Yes.
Okay.
Because all of the handouts that go with the game are meant to be printed landscape. The map for the city got rotated, so north is actually left on that map. This one
I was
that we're using
very confused for a moment.
Oh, neat.
It's like the map of the city that I live in is all wonky.
Like... Good to know. Good to know. Okay, so north is to the left. Okay.
Yes, until we get into all the district maps, and then north is up again. So just roll with it.
Just go with it.
You're good.
Perfect. I'm into it. Okay.
So yes, I think first you guys might want to scout out the neighborhood. You might want to try to find out a little bit more about this building and stuff, because basically anything that's on that claims map that's like, oh, we want to take turf, we want to take this dead drop, we want to take somebody else's vice den, it belongs to somebody, right? So like there's a place here and there's a really good dead drop, but if it's a really good dead drop, somebody's using it.
And we did. So did I get a copy of like blueprints or anything from my architect friend, or did I just look at them and then find it on my own map? Because I don't think I rolled particularly high on that one either.
I honestly don't remember. I think if you want to check in with August and like try to get more specifics about like that,
you can go back and
building.
Look
you
at
can.
Yeah, I didn't roll anything higher than a 3. I don't know what they were for necessarily. I did a lot of consorting, and nothing was higher than a 3. So, but I didn't roll to go talk to him.
Yeah, you did the architect after I did. So your you didn't roll at all then.
I don't think I rolled at all. I think I just went and talked to him because he's on my friends list. Friends list sounds weird in this context, but that's what it is.
So I'll put it in another way. I know details about the building in the neighborhood that didn't exist the last time we played. So
I can go talk to him again.
That's why I would mention, if you have somebody specifically who wanted to ask for information to look into what's going on over there, I can actually answer those questions now.
So. Yeah, because we also have like underground maps and passkeys anyway, so we can get there.
Yeah.
Stealthily. It's just a matter of figuring out where we're going. So I would definitely like to go talk to him again to get some info.
Okay.
So Six Towers is also where, if I ever heard correctly, where there's like a vampire mansion. Yes. What is that?
Scarlock Manor. Yeah.
Yep.
What is that?
There's a vampire that lives there in a mansion. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what you think it is. There's a manor and there's a vampire. So
a little ghost girl wants to
and he hates our little ghost friend.
Our little ghost friend is
which is interesting because she's apparently very interested in him. So it's So it was a formerly prestigious district that has faded over the centuries to a pale shadow of once it once was. The Six Towers were originally the grand residences of Duskfall's first noble families. All but two, Bowmore House and Rowan House, have been sold off and converted into cheap apartments or fallen into ruin and abandonment. District has an empty, haunted feel with many sprawling old buildings, dark without power, broad stone streets cracked and buckled, and the fires of squatters crackling from overgrown lots.
Okay.
Is there a gang that runs this area?
There are various different gangs that operate in different areas.
Sounds like something we'll have to gather information for.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's my plan.
Yeah. I was thinking if this is an area where there is legit a vampire, maybe my blood dealer is out here. Because I have never
Is that
really
what blood dealers do?
I'd never really placed Jewel.
Okay.
And I thought, well, maybe if there's like an obvious market here, because maybe this is where vampires hang out, then maybe Jewel lives out here. Or does it make more sense for Jewel to be somewhere else, where like supply is in high and is in high quantity?
Probably depends on what kind of a profile Jewel's trying to keep.
Mm.
Right? Because this is not the place you go to looking for an upstanding blood dealer, right? Like looking for.
Yeah, then I think that maybe Jewel is not here. Maybe Jewel could have contacts in this area, but nothing that Ohm would know about. So that makes sense, because I would imagine that if Ohm has consorted with somebody like this, it's because they have been legitimized in Ohm's eyes in some way and are not like super skeezy. Because as a tinkerer and inventor, he probably doesn't have a lot of time for someone with a lot of baggage. Like that. So okay, that works for me. Thanks for the clarity there.
Okay. Yeah, I will say conveniently Maisley does know someone who is explicitly set out the book as being in Six Towers.
That was Quellen, right?
Actually, not Quellen.
Oh.
Maisley is actually, you've seen her speaking before to somebody who's someone who goes by the name of Flint and is a spirit trafficker.
Spirit trafficker?
Yes. So whenever anybody dies, like the ghosts don't go anywhere, right? Because the gates of death were shattered in the cataclysm. So when people die, it's very important to the city for public safety that they find any corpses so that they can be destroyed in a way that will destroy the ghost, like the spirit that's within them.
Mm-hmm.
Flint deals in black market ghosts, like the ghosts that have not been found and destroyed.
Yes.
This game.
Yes.
It's great, right?
Yes.
Black market ghost. I love it.
And this person's in Six Towers?
Yes. Flint operates out of a condemned manor house in Six Towers.
So what do we want to know specifically is my question for the group. Before we just jump in.
Yeah.
Well, if you look towards the bottom of your character sheet, there's actually some example questions for like kind of spark some ideas for if you're trying to look up information and find things out. They're not super specific, but they're there to give you at least a little bit of an idea of like the things you can be trying to do.
Gotcha. So we want to know who operates out of the area, right? Mm-hmm. We want to know general layout of the place we're trying to smash and grab. Mm-hmm. And what else?
I think it'd be very good for us to understand the ways to and from this building. Are there like hidden passages or alternate ways to get to our drop?
Right. And that's planning, and we don't do planning.
Okay, gotcha. Well, so I was just in the gather information, like what is it? How can I get to them? Or okay, and then also I would want to kind of get a sense of like what I could do from a tinker perspective to create false false fronts and make hidey holes and that kind of thing that would be clever and kind of our part of our bailiwick.
So I can go get topographical information from August and get all of the physical layout more or less, get a general idea if somebody wants to go handle the like people perspective.
I can go wander the area and look like I'm kind of
I would
wandering
like
there.
to I would certainly like to know who we're going to be pissing off with this and
Absolutely.
who might be okay with that and who won't be okay with that.
Mhm. Can you take your child with you?
Where's the child? Is the child just gone? Because I'm okay with that.
That's a fascinating question. Yes, you do not know where Maisley is at.
Great.
Okay,
That
Demas
can't
is
be good.
drinking. He's not comfortable with that. He's drinking.
I was like, Ghost is just like, that ain't good. That ain't good.
I have a fine bottle of whiskey. They're just seemingly limitless fine bottles of whiskey from Scotland. So
Okay.
it's Saint Scotland's Day soon. So
There it is.
What do you want to do there, Ghost?
I guess I'll accompany you. We run into the office, into one of the officers. Maybe we can get something. I know what's his name. What is his
LaRue's,
name?
right? Something like that.
Nope,
What's-
that's the.
LaRose. It's a blue coat.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
the
in
blue
our
coat.
district, I think.
True.
Right?
Would you like to
He's
accompany
a
me?
generalized contact. He can,
Oh,
you can go to him if you really want to.
Yeah, but I'll
okay.
go with you just in case something pops off.
Would you like to accompany me to go see August? Perhaps you two would get along.
Sure. I
He's
would
interesting.
I would be agreeable to that.
I'm sure he could tell you about all sorts of structural details.
I'll be interested to know what they think is important. Yes, let's do this.
Okay. So we've got Ohm and Demas this side.
Hold on, just out of character, real quick. We're splitting the party again. Is that screwing you up?
This is for like a planning.
Okay.
Thing,
Yeah, this
not
is
the
all
actual score.
gathering
Okay.
information stuff, so that
Alright.
you'll be able to make a decision to do the score.
But let's decide
That's all
now.
fine,
We're
yeah.
not going to split the party for the actual score.
Yes,
Right.
that's what I care about. Yes.
I've been thinking about that one too, for better ways to have handled that. So I've got a couple ideas in case I need it. So.
And sometimes it's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
it just is.
Got to be clever. We got Ocean's 11, everything.
Yeah,
That's right.
and then Maribel and Ghost, you guys were headed somewhere too, and
We're gonna go
you were
check.
going to go talk to the Bluecoats or
We were
someone
really
else?
just gonna check out the Six Towers area.
Okay.
See kind of like what gangs hang around, how many bluecoats are around,
Okay,
just get eyes.
sounds good. Do we have volunteers to go first? Yes? No? Anybody?
Ghost and I
want to?
can. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go.
Okay.
I'm definitely in disguise.
Same here.
Are you all wearing
So
masks?
that like wearing a different hat, or is that like the whole mask deal and all that sort of stuff?
I don't think that I'm going with the mask because that would be weird. I think to see.
Kind of.
I'm just going to be dressed down in clothes that would be relative to that area. And then like a kerchief like over my head to kind of obscure my face, but not a mask.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be in my regular outfit with my bowler hat.
Okay. So it's raining and you've got like kind of like an umbrella and like something over your head kind of deal, and
Can I bring Cerberus with me?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Come on,
kind of
boy.
we roll with two Taikarosi, so like how inconspicuous are we in general? Not very.
And the thing for me is like I am Maribel in certain situations, like talking to Bazo Boss.
Mhm.
But in a lot of other situations I am not.
Yeah. Well, and everybody actually except Maribel has an alias, so it's like here you're Ohm and here you're Demas, but like the mask goes on, and it sticks and Bachatecos. Did I get that one right? Hopefully.
Bibliothekos, yeah.
Yeah.
Tekos.
Close.
I think
Tekos.
it's Hungarian, so the S is a sh for some reason.
Okay. It's got one of the little like curly cues under it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's raining. It's been doing this for days. Lightning is actually kind of a nice break because there's actually something that casts light besides just like the ambient light in the distance from the lightning wall.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, the flickering little street lamps. Let me find the Six Towers map.
I just say I love scrolling in and out in Legend Keeper.
Very
It's
satisfying.
just really, yeah, it is.
It feels so good.
It's satisfying. Yeah, so on the map here, in the one in Roll20 rather, I did mark out like here's where, yeah, that's where like the actual building itself is at.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Okay.
That's right. This one right here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It is there on Colburn Avenue. It's thundering. It's actually pretty heavy rain over here in this side of town. You can kind of see down that kind of like big avenue, like down towards that direction. That building is dark. It looks like some of the other buildings around here, they used to be pretty good mansions and manor houses and stuff like that. They're kind of warped and shifted and have cracked windows and stuff on almost all of them now. In the gaps in between them, there's guys kind of around campfires with like tarps that are kind of propped up on sticks and stuff, trying to stay warm. There's signs actually in front of what used to be these manor houses that like they've been converted and like some of them are being used for like manufacturing. But like it's not really like a place that like a lot of people live or that's particularly fancy right now.
Is this only like a one level area or is it built up?
Yeah, so this part of town is not as stacked and layered on top of itself like kind of like the more central sections are.
Okay.
And this section in general is kind of I don't want to call it like totally blighted or anything, but like it's not a place that's been kept up with. So like even if people were going to try to do that, they'd be like having kind of an uphill battle with like, well, first we have to repair this first level of buildings before we can build another tier of stuff on top.
Right.
But yeah, I mean you're here and it's raining. There's actually one point like kind of in the middle of the street or along the length of it, like not like in the middle of it, where there's a bunch of kids with sticks, and there's a downed electrical wire from one of the like lines for running the electroplasmic power through the city, and they're like poking at it as it like kind of like sparks there in the puddle. Because that's a fun, safe thing to do in a Victorian city.
Really?
Yeah.
Are they like playing dodge the death wire? Like
they're like trying to flick it up so that when it lands it'll spark. Like they're like, oh, it was a really big one that time. Mine was bigger a minute ago. And like they're just like going back and forth with it like that.
I think I'm gonna have Cerberus give out a loud bark to scare them off.
Oh, they will all get a like half a second worth of glimpse and like take off between a set of the buildings. Like back farther back there where they take off to, like you hear like grumpy older voice like, hey, watch it, you knocked over the fire, damn kid, right? Like like they were so scared that they went plowing through some of these like squatters who were hanging out in the back.
Interesting.
Yeah. How close are like squatters to the building we're casing?
So there's people kind of around the area. There's nobody like directly next to that one. But you can see from inside, like the building itself is dark. Like some of the others, like they'll at least have like a little electroplasmic bulb out by the front front door or something like that, especially the ones that have been converted for manufacturing. But this one is like, it's totally dark, but on like the second floor, you can see like sort of flickering light, like if there was somebody with like a couple candles or something like that in there.
Okay.
Okay.
Do
Interesting.
we should
Let's see.
go ahead,
Hmm.
Casey?
No. I was gonna say like maybe we should go in the building, or at least see if there's a lock on the door.
Yes, we can as long as we're not being watched. I definitely don't want to give us up looking at it already.
Fair enough. Does out of character does
Yes.
because I have a spiritual trained animal, would it sense anything? Like with the house, like if it's possessed or anything like that? Like, do we care? Do we care?
Yes, we care about ghosts.
Like, because I
They
know
can
all of
cause
us
us
have.
problems.
Right.
Who are we gonna call? Is the only thing.
Neighbor.
Don't we know a guy now? Like Mr. Black Market?
True. We get maids later. Do that.
But I was just asking if I asked my dog to sniff out the place for ghosts, would it know how to do that? Because it says trained hunting pet.
I kind of want to look because I feel like there's a separate upgrade that's for like having your pet deal with like supernatural things. So let's see.
Because from what I'm getting back in characters, like it looks like we just got to deal with a bunch of squatters, and if my dog can scare it off, it'd be pretty easy to get this place.
Yeah, but the squatters have lots of eyes, so I'm a little concerned about that.
So it says
Hopefully, an appropriate amount of eyes.
We do see Takarosi here probably, so that's not a guarantee.
Yeah.
So it
We
says
could have way too many eyes.
yeah. It says a trained hunting pet. Your animal companion obeys your commands and anticipates your actions. It's an expert hunter. There's another upgrade that's Ghost Hunter, which is your hunting pet is imbued with spirit energy. It gains potency with tracking or fighting the supernatural. So I think he can still kind of try to, especially because he's like Tygrosi and weird, of course. He can still try to like sniff out if there's anything strange going on. He's probably not going to be like super long range beacon scan for it.
Right.
Um,
So we have to get up there.
and he's not going to be. He'll be accurate, but not particularly accurate. If that makes sense,
Okay.
right? Like he'd be able to pick up on something being around, but not in super great detail.
Well, and right at this point, we just need to know if there is something there, not where it's at. Is
Yeah.
that a proper way of looking at it?
I think that's the main question you've had so far, but yeah.
Yeah. So how do I click on him or do I click on hunt?
Let's see what the descriptions say here. Because I think it's just going to be like you're going to be the one making the roll, and he counts as like an asset for it, kind of deal.
Right.
Hunt a target, gather information about its locations and movements. So I think this might be more under study or survey.
Surveying then.
Yeah, so study is a person, document, or item. Survey is like survey a location or situation to understand what's going on, sense trouble before it happens. Gather information about opportunities or exploits.
I'll roll survey.
Okay.
All right. Position risky.
Yep.
Because we get. All right. Let's see. Standard effect. Or
I think if
limited.
you're doing it from outside, it's probably limited.
All right, limited. And Now I got one thing in that. Is that a bonus dice also, or is it just? I can't remember. I got one little dot in it.
Right. So it'll already calculate in that dot.
Okay.
You can spend stress to push yourself to get an extra die. You can ask for a devil's bargain to get an extra die. Or Maribel could spend a stress to assist you in it to give you an extra die.
What do you say? Because Devil
Mm,
Bargain's not okay. Then I'll roll it and see what we get.
sorry.
Nothing.
Oop.
Sorry.
Yeah. So you get nothing, or nothing that you're able to perceive from here, right? Like there's definitely somebody in there. Whether or not there's something supernatural going on in there, you're not sure. That is definitely like the color of something that is flame, not the like kind of weird pale bluish greenish that you get from like, electroplasmic bulbs or ghosts or like the lightning wall kind of deal.
And that's within the house that we're casing?
Yeah. So that's on the second floor, like kind of it looks like there's some kind of fabric in the windows, and it's back. You can see it through the fabric.
Okay. Mike, do I know?
But sorry, before I forget, but you're definitely being watched. You know that for sure.
From where?
I think towards the end of the block, there's somebody who like you kind of catch them as they kind of like turn around a building and kind of head down another side street.
Do I know enough about this area to cut through a street to cut them off?
I can
Or
hunt.
you can hunt them because that's
Yeah.
what you do.
Yep.
That's the
I
thing.
am on my
Probably a better idea.
I am on my way.
Well, you take care of that. I would like to talk to the squatters.
All right. Do I roll risky?
Um,
Or
I
do we
kind
want
of
to wait?
I kind of want to take a timeout on that so we can try to check in with
Okay.
Ohm and
Yep,
Demas for a minute, just so we know.
Yep.
Spread it around a little bit. So yeah, you guys were going to see August?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you're in Charter Hall, I believe, was where we said that August was based.
And
Um,
Ohm walks, kind of close to Demas. Not like where our shoulders are touching, but like where we're rather close to one another, and seems to draw some kind of comfort from being with Demas.
Are we pals? Are we buddies?
Just to kind of set the stage that like Ohm doesn't stray too far from Demas when they're on mission together.
Aw.
And vows to not split the party that was split.
we're not going to split up. We're
That's
gonna
a split the split
I'm right
party.
here with you.
Yeah.
So close, so physically close.
Yes.
What district
If daylight existed in this world and there was not just a burning husk of sun ember drifting through the sky, they might say there's little daylight between us. But since there is no daylight,
There's little dusk.
area of town are they going to?
They're going to Charter Hall.
Okay.
There's a handout for that one too.
Ooh, this one's fancy.
Yeah, so Charter Hall was one of the early districts of the city, and it's kind of before the city got really big. Basically, Charter Hall was the main part of the city. Now it's not super fashionable. It's a lot of city offices. The courts are there. Charter Hall University is there, so there's students around. There's a lot of like halls of records and like trying to get permits and all that. I think there's some banks in that area and stuff like that. But August at the Department of Planning or something like that as his basement area that's all racks and racks full of these old
Apparently mildewed blueprints.
Yes. It smells like
I care if your patrons.
tea and a bit of whiskey and a little bit of mildew.
And real quick, Ohm is wearing a high necked, high collared affair. One of those like the collar comes up to like low jawline and then flares out from there, like one of those old like thick leather duster type situations from Victorian era horse riding, hiding the obvious gaps in their neck and all of that stuff. So there are very little identifying features from that perspective.
Okay.
I like this guy. That picture is like so blurry that I just imagine him being extremely intoxicated.
Yes. While he took the
At all
photo.
times.
Yes.
He has a set of those like the really really tiny round glasses that like they don't have arms on them. They just like they clamp onto the tip of his nose. Got a deal?
Yes, the
I
pince
was like,
nose.
oh yes, ah, Demas. I was always glad to see you and have you make an appearance here. I thought, may I get you a cup of tea? And he like
Absolutely.
brushes a layer of dust off the top of the tin full of tea bags. Like,
I would say this is a dear associate of mine, Empty Ohm.
pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
As he goes to like hand the cup of tea to Demas, Ohm will reach out and take it, so that a second cup will be produced. like don't forget me. I also want a cup of tea.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yes, of course. Here, okay.
He doesn't say
"Don't
don't forget
anything
me."
for him.
This is just what he's implying with his actions.
Yeah, he has this like little tiny teapot that on the side it actually has this this etching of like the imperial palace where the immortal emperor lives on the side. Like kind of pours the water out of that.
Is it like a clean pot? Like he takes good care of it and all of that stuff. So this is like an item of importance to him.
It's in reasonable condition.
Okay.
Yoink.
It's like
It's
a
the
commemorative
office
plate.
one.
Oh, it's
Yes.
the retirement watch you get at the end of your service. Yeah.
yeah. This was like for 15 years of service in the Department of Records here down in this basement that we shoved you into and never let you out of. And it's like yes, always glad to have your acquaintance. It's always a good time here. Have tea. It's like I'll let you in. I got this
sociable and let him talk it out.
Yeah, he got this very very special gift from someone, and like he has like this tiny little box that has like 5 sugar cubes in it. It's like man, may I interest you in a sugar cube? It's like,
of course.
No, I like it as it is. Thank you very much. As he like gingerly sips what tea is left.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what can I do for your friends? Friends.
If you remember the last time I was here, we discussed a certain property in 6 Towers, I believe it was.
Ah, yes, the one on Colburn Avenue. I think I remember the one you're talking about.
Yes.
He's kind of like stroking his beard, looking around at the racks. It's like, where are the best?
I was wondering
Section
if I could.
Z, 3rd row. Yeah, it's like.
I was wondering if I could bother you for perhaps a copy of the plans for a small enterprise we're undertaking.
And Dion sips his tea with like a steady gaze on the guy. What's he when he hears this request? Is his demeanor like affable, or is he?
Well, is he guarded? He's like one of your. Is he your good friend, Demas?
Pal. He's my good friend.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean he's. I think he may say something about like I can't necessarily let you take the plans, but I do have these extra sheets, and I have implements, and we can sketch out a copy of this. If you're not doing new construction work, we can get you enough information that we can while you're here.
Absolutely.
As he's kind of going through that, Ohm will kind of interject a little bit and say, if it's all possible, I am interested in the infrastructure around the area, drainage, water lines coming in, utility connections. If we were to turn this place on, as it were, what would that undertaking be? If you have those sorts of clues for us.
Yeah, and he would be able to tell you that. Well, yeah, he's kind of headed over to that rack anyway. It's like, well, a lot of that stuff that's going to be here in the actual plans, because there's also like this bundle of paperwork from when the construction was done or the last stuff. But that section of the city, things don't get kept up very well. There's not a lot of people who do come and file permits if they're going to be doing something. There's things that just fall to disrepair. And, like, there's a paper here that says like it was scheduled for some sort of update for like the sewage line that was supposed to be done 6.5 years ago. So
if there's any cause for a consort roll or anything, I do have that new thing I picked up that would give us an extra die on our engagement roll and an extra die on a consort roll to get information.
Whoa.
But if there's no need for it, then that's fine.
We can.
Is there something I could maybe butter him up and get a little extra on?
Well, I think you can butter him up on like the whole like note taking stuff with you policy. Because like he can sit here and like hand copy you portions of this map, but it's like it's not going to be super quick.
Yeah.
What might be good if his back is turned to us and he's like rifling through things, and I have a private moment with Demas for a moment. Demas will kind of turn, putting his back to the other gentleman to kind of block the travel of his voice, and just very quietly say, it might be good if he could seal these records so that if anyone else came looking, they would find some difficulty.
That's a wonderful idea. Yeah, so Demas is
I'm glad that you thought of it. Yes, this is good. Yeah. I'll go back to the guy.
August, my dear friend.
Yes.
What would be the rub on perhaps privatizing some of these records, as we will perhaps soon have a stake in this property, and I would prefer if not just anyone could come and peruse these plans and things of the like.
He's like, well, I mean, you're a close friend and all, and if we needed to, like, perhaps some sort of controls over the access to these documents, then we could try some way to. I could possibly find a way. There'll have to be a dreadful amount of paperwork that has to get covered to do something. So it will take effort or roll and stuff here like that, but it's on the table.
Very well. Should I make my consort roll now?
Yes, you may make a consort roll now.
What is my position and effect?
Your position is controlled, right? Because you're close friends with him. This is not something that's like really dangerous. So, and your effect is going to be, I mean, standard is that like he'll
do it.
Yeah, he'll give you the document, cover for it until it eventually. He counts on you, like it will eventually actually come back, and then it will be controlled access after that point because he said so.
Seriously, this is exactly what happens in Ocean's 11.
And then I have one bonus die from my ability.
Yep.
Which I might send to the chat afterwards. But okay, let's see how that goes. I can't see. Okay, mixed success.
It's weird that the thing's not working.
There was a thing when I was coming out to Roll20 earlier that some images aren't loading, and because the die roll uses an image behind the text, like it's being a little funky tonight. But yes,
it's like a GIF, isn't it, or something?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all holding still tonight. Yes, so a 4 is a mixed success. So yes, he can do it. He will loan you the documents. He will say, I trust you. I know you're going to bring them back. The sooner they're back, the better.
Okay.
Right. As for making these things totally secret, he's not entirely sure he can do that. That may involve more beyond the paperwork. That might involve like actual greasing of palms. That one might take actual money to accomplish.
Very well.
I think as you guys are there and he's going through all this stuff with you, he will also say like after you came in last time and you were talking to him, it's like you asked about gangs or something like that. It's like, and That's really not my field. I don't deal with that kind of thing. It's like, but I did think of you again the other day. A couple gruff gentlemen came in black kerchiefs came in asking to see they wanted information about the sewer system of Crow's Foot. But they didn't have any kind of permits or documentation or an official statement saying that they had access to the records. So I turned them right away.
Thank you.
They were very unhappy about it, but they eventually did leave.
Black kerchiefs.
Yes.
I will look into that. Thank you.
And that
very
is
much.
definitely a style that like the lamp blacks tend to wear. So yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like lamp blacks or crows both kind of have that whole like black coloration going on.
Yeah.
So it's like
The crows tend to do stuff that does definitely have like a crow shape to it. So
gotcha. Cool.
But
yeah. So thank you for your discretion, I suppose.
Oh. Yeah, glad to see you and be always happy to have the opportunity to spend time with you.
While they are talking,
weird,
can Ohm take a quick moment to study these blueprints and area plans before they get rolled up and we walk out with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there something in particular that he's curious about? Is he just?
Yeah. So they're mostly curious about this drop location, understanding what other like wet walls, conduits, other potential unseen spaces could be there on the building, and maybe immediately how they could get access to those spaces.
Okay.
So that's probably their first thing, is like the drop location itself. What are the possibilities immediately around it?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to make a study roll, we can do that.
Okay. I imagine that's just a straight study controlled standard effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So you can tell that you're not entirely sure what state it's in right now, but like that corner of the building, in the lower level was the kitchens. And then on the ground level, there's like the dining room and stuff like that. And then the upper level, there's kind of like a salon type area. So in the corner of the building, there is a shaft built that was for like a dumbwaiter. So they could cook in the kitchen and then they could take it to wherever they wanted to serve it. And that's the thing that has been kind of mentioned as like, there's some way to open from the outside to get access to that. I want to say it's not something that's like included in the plans intentionally. Like it's like there's a stone that somebody has installed later on that like if you pivot it, you can reach into that space. It's not like, oh, there was a handy little door here because when they had picnics out back, they wanted to, because
serve from the kitchen.
Yeah, who has picnics in the land where there's no sunlight? So yeah.
Right. Perfect. Okay, good. So yeah, just so that I maybe have that space kind of burned in my memory. So when I'm there, I kind of know what I'm looking for and what to expect. So that's
yeah.
all. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So on what you can tell is like there was this dumbwaiter in the lower level of the building was where the kitchens were, and then there was 2 stories, and then like the actual. Okay, kitchens are like basement level. There's a first story, a second story, a third story, and on the roof is where all the like mechanism stuff for running the dumbwaiter is actually at. Right? Like that's where all like the pulleys actually go up to the roof so that it could go to any of the 3 floors. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Cool. Any other questions for August?
Any other inspiration?
No, these have been incredibly helpful. Thank you so much, August. It has been a fantastic pleasure meeting you, and your tea is quite delicious.
We will see you again with the plans.
Like, very well. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Perhaps more sugar next time, though. Yes. In any case.
It was like that.
Literally said
Someone having the money to grow sugar at all is like an insane luxury. So, like, how dare you not have more of the incredibly expensive fancy thing?
Then I refuse. Yeah.
Yeah, you refuse.
Demas will just give him, kind of a nod and pardon my friend's eccentricities.
At least it wasn't the creepy child.
Yeah, at least it wasn't the creepy child. It could be worse.
I could unfurl my my high collar and really set this room on fire.
Yeah.
No, this is good. This has been really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll leave. And that I think netted us a die to our engagement roll because we
Yes.
consorted for information.
We successfully did a thing. That's great.
Yes.
We did it.
Hey.
So, meanwhile, back on the streets of Six Towers in the pouring down rain.
I'm gonna go get a drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. Maribel and Griffith, you guys are hanging out there. So, what are you up to?
Ghost was gonna go follow the person that was checking on us, and I wanted to speak to the squatters nearby.
Okay. Yeah, Ghost, do you want to try to follow him?
Yep. Let's see. Position risky, right? Or are we more in a desperate?
So I think he's got like a fair head start. Like he was a little ways away when he spotted you guys, and it's raining pretty hard. So I think if that's desperate,
All right.
which
Stand-
means you can check one of the XP marks on that
Oh, sweet.
that track there. So
I do have Cerberus with me, so would that help my effect at all? Because he's hunting. Because I remember how you said it's like it also helps, but I'm not sure. I need to study this book more often.
there's just a lot of parts. What?
Oh, my vape sprung a leak.
Aww.
I need my nicotine.
Leaking that sweet juice.
I need my nicotine.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Sweet churro flavored vape juice or whatever. They make that. They make organic churro flavor, and I'm like, that seems like an oxymoron to me.
It seems intensely specific.
Mm-hmm.
But to both of the people in the country who buy that flavor, that's really important to them. I'm sure.
Both of them.
Every two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Yes. So Cerberus is a hunting animal. He's able to smell, even though it's kind of here in the rain and stuff. So that'll raise your effect level just to So you're in desperate position and great effect. This is the next step up from standard.
Yeah, because you got standard, limited, extreme, and zero. I mean, I can keep it standard because it's raining, because in real life, hunting dogs have a hard time tracking in the rain.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe he's improving stuff back up to that level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, and I'll spend 1 stress for a bonus dice.
Okay, so it's 2 stress if you're buying a die for yourself.
Nope, never mind. Cannot
What
afford
one
that
die
right
to
now.
help 1 stress to help somebody else, 2 stress to give a die to yourself.
Gotcha. Yep, not gonna do that. And when you click on that, it just throws all of that away.
Oops.
Partial.
4.
Man. Should just. Alright. So what do I get with a 4?
So with a 4, So I think with a 4, what it does is it'll cut down your results, right?
Okay.
So with a 4, you're there, you're tracking him, you're able to catch up relatively close. You and Cerberus kind of come up on him as he's like in this alleyway, and you do see him. He's got like a long coat. He's got like the collar kind of pulled up because it was trying to keep the rain off him.
hmm
And you catch him as he turns around. He's bent over as you kind of like turn into this alley. He's trying to like pull up this manhole cover. And he like kind of flips it out of the way, and he turns around to face you guys, and you can see. Ta-da! He's got this big old like mask on. Cool.
Great.
And then he like dives down the manhole cover, and like you just hear footsteps off into the distance.
Bugger. What were those guys? Played doctors, but what in the game are they?
The wraiths.
The wraiths.
Yes.
What would the wraiths be doing in this area? Is this their territory? Out of character?
Sorry, finding the notes for it.
Oh,
So
look, a salt truck.
oh, that'll be helpful at some point.
Sorry, ADD kicked in there.
Yeah. They mostly operate out of Silkshore and Night Market. But they specialized in thievery, especially of luxury items, and intelligence gathering for clients to use as blackmail.
Hmm.
Alright. He's already gone, so I guess I'll start heading back.
Yeah. So Maribel.
Yep.
Chumming it up with the guys around the trash can fire.
Say again?
Chumming it up with the guys around the trash can fire.
Yes, I am. I approach quietly, or not quietly. I approach to basically like come up and warm my hands
Okay.
at the fire.
So I think in this alleyway, the guy who's standing directly by the can doesn't look as kind of like straggly and like driftery as like some of the other people that you've seen kind of back around these places here. And he kind of like raises an eyebrow and looks at you as you like come here and do this. And you do notice there's a couple other there's 3 other people like farther back the alley. Right? So he'll
just trying to brush off the cold.
Uh-huh. You have business?
Business? Oh, yes, I was supposed to meet Arle over there. She promised me. Well, she promised me shelter, but I can't seem to find her. Have you by chance seen her come and go from one of the?
Was it Arle you said?
Arle, yeah.
Arle. Yeah,
Sure.
she was here earlier. She had to leave. She headed back towards like he names an intersection that's farther down, like it's the big road that heads back towards Charter Hall. If you don't have business, you should probably go try to find her.
Wow, rude.
And being Maribel, you know he's totally making up. Oh yeah, she was here. She went somewhere else. It's like no, he's never seen her before in his life.
Like he doesn't know who
like,
this person
no.
is.
He's like no.
Okay,
You should go to the other place, like, because you said you weren't here for business. So.
Oh, it's so cold. It's so wet. I'm just gonna warm myself here for a moment. You know, I'm sure I can catch up to her later. What do I want to say? I'm sure that just letting me stay here by the fire won't affect your business too much.
No. I'm sure Mr. Flint will be fine with it if it's just for a minute.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Oh, because we were talking about him earlier. Because
Yep.
he knows Maisley.
All right.
So yeah, he's there. He lets you hang out there for a couple minutes. This guy, he's fairly big. And then from the back, there's a dude who looks kind of creepy looking. I should pick a handout for him. If I didn't already,
Yeah, really,
did I?
my creep level is fairly high. Like, really gonna have to sell me on that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Spin the wheel. Wheel of handouts. This is different now. Sorry, I don't have enough like guy who looks totally haunted handouts. I just have people trying to look sort of normal. Yeah, so he comes back out and he's accompanying two lampblacks who leave out of the alley.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, I'll have the stuff for you tomorrow. And he comes over by the fire and he's like, so, Grant, who's this? She have business?
Grint is what he calls the dude that was talking to me?
Yeah, I gotta find a new name for him because I can't have Flint and Grint work together.
Mr. Flint, I presume?
Like, yeah. You are?
Anna.
Okay. Something I can do for you?
Well, I believe you might know a little girl goes by the name Maisley.
You see a shiver run down his spine when you mention her name. He's like, I know the one.
Yes, she's quite interesting, that child.
That's a generous way of putting it.
Yes, it is indeed. She has spoken of you previously. Perhaps we could talk for just a moment.
Just like rubs his hand over the fire. It's like, I'm right here.
Yes, so is your friend Grint.
Like, oh, Grint knows everything. Don't worry about him.
All right. The two lampblacks have left, correct?
Yeah.
Mr. Flint, I am looking at this area. I know that it's very worn down. Not a lot is booming here, shall we say?
He does kind of snicker at that. It's like, aye.
It does seem to have some activity, though, of people coming and going, wouldn't you say?
Like on and off. It's enough quiet for me to do my business without too much trouble.
And if a few more people came your way, that would be a bonus, wouldn't it?
If they're coming to me for business, yes.
I can probably see to that. It can, crease your palm a little if you'll turn your back a little.
It's like, so what exactly is it that you need from me?
I don't know how to phrase this.
Associates of ours.
Yes, some associates of ours need to use one of the buildings nearby. And need to make sure that that's okay with you since you seem to run these corners.
He will kind of chuckle to himself, like warming his hands over the fire. He's like, if you haven't looked around, I think you might be overstating my control over this area. I wouldn't be standing out in the rain if I was in charge of any of these buildings.
Just but you know what goes on in them.
It's like I
And
see some
keeping
things that go
secrets
on around
comes as a
here.
prime.
Yeah.
I think we both know that.
So what would you like from him? Like what is it that you would like him to do here if you were getting your way?
What I'm getting at is basically to keep his mouth shut, keep his employees' mouths shut
Mhm.
about our coming and going from this particular area. And if I could glean any information on who might be over in that house.
Um, yeah, if you're trying to use the conversation as a way to get information from him about like what's going on around here and who's in the house, we can definitely go that way.
Okay. What would you like me to roll?
Um, it sounds like you're consorting with him.
Probably. What am I at? Risky?
Yeah, it's risky.
Effect?
Um, yeah, standard will be he tells you what he knows and that kind of thing.
Okay. Do I get bargain?
Let's see.
Excuse me.
Sorry, just first I wanted to check. Sometimes like the districts themselves have one where it's like, oh, you can always go for this one. This district does not. I think he's willing to keep your secrets and tell you information and enough to like be worth giving you an extra die here. Um, but he's going to need to know like you're part of the Faceless, like the crew that's you're involved with, because like this is for a crew.
Okay. I'll do that.
So like he needs to know whose secret he's keeping, kind of thing.
Yeah, like I know who you are, and I know that you're part of the Faceless, and this is because the Faceless wants to be operating
Oh, I'm
around
not part
here.
of the Faceless. I'm a broker. So that would be my go back at that. But so yeah, I'll take that devil's bargain. Is that okay?
Well, I don't want to like pull it off the table. Like I do kind of want it to be like
That's fine.
he's still knowing that like there's an association between you and the Faceless at least. So
Sure, that's
no,
fine with me.
okay.
We're gonna have to get rep at one point anyway, right?
Yep.
Yay!
6.
Oh, I looked at your roll. It's like,
Yeah.
No, you did much better.
No, yours came up 6. All right, full success. Yeah, he's willing to, all right, hey, if I got my corner, I'm able to do my business. Got nobody putting their nose in. I don't give a damn what's going on around here. Yeah, like I know that building, the one around the corner. It's got a bunch of junkies. I used to see him coming and going. Haven't seen him coming and going as much lately. But I know, like, there's always, like, every once in a while, there's somebody random who kind of, like, wanders around this area, too. Kind of around that area of the house. And, it's weird. But every once in a while, I hear this weird noise. This rear type noise. Just every once in a while.
Like a cat?
Or mechanical.
No, it's some more. Yeah, it's something mechanical.
Interesting. Well,
He's like, but I think I understand what you're getting at over there. There's somebody who drops off stuff there. People pick stuff up there.
something like that.
But he will say he only ever has seen people pick stuff up there. He's never seen anybody drop stuff off there.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Flint. Maisley sends her regards.
Yeah, she can keep them wherever she's at. Like it kind of goes back to.
Y'all beating up on the poor little girl. What's wrong with y'all?
She's
Good, I
just
sent
she's just an
Maisley
innocent
her
little kid.
regards.
She's creepy. It's her fault.
That's what the
She
character was
chose this
built
path.
for. Yeah.
She chose the path of the creep.
We were merely just standing in the way.
So
We chose
I
the
know-
creep
I know we
life. She
haven't
was
gotten together.
born to it.
that's right. Molded by it. Yeah. So we haven't gotten together to talk yet, but this is already a drop for somebody else.
Yes.
Someone else is using this building for this very same thing we want to use it for. And it's probably those damned wraiths or the plague doctor guys.
They all
We'll
bleed
take
the
it.
same.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Did you think this would be easy?
We're just gonna,
You know,
just gonna walk
everything
in.
everything that's worth something in the city is claimed by someone.
Yeah.
So if you want it, you got to take it from somebody else.
yep. All right. Fair.
Can we take a quick break, Mike?
Yes, that's what I was
think
going to say.
it's-
We can take a couple minutes break and then we can come back and try to figure out what your actual score or like how you're going to try to address this is to try to
Yeah, it's almost
this over.
It's almost jump cut time. Jump cut to plan time.
Heist
Okay.
time.
Heist time! Heist time! Okay, so let me do the quick giveaway startup, and then we will take our break. Does that sound awesome? Okay, cool. What is our cast and crew? What is our word for the day?
Creepy.
Or is our creepy?
Ain't a crime.
Isn't that always our word for this game?
Yeah. Let's see here. What was the guy's name that gave us that last tidbit of information?
Flint.
Flint.
How about Flint? Flint?
Yep.
Sure.
Man, that's topical for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that where you're
All right.
parked tonight?
I'm in Detroit.
Oh
It's
yeah.
hilarious.
All right, everyone in the chat. So we're going to go take a quick break. And tonight's keyword, if you want to win a beta key or beta access to Legend Keeper, which is the site that we use to track this game and the Cyberpunk game and pretty much all of the games at High Shelf Gaming and all of our friends now, type Flint into the chat. So if you want a beta key for Legend Keeper, which is a world building tool, campaign tracking tool, a really cool program where you can like have maps inside of maps, and there's like a wiki. You can assign permissions to the wiki. You can invite up to like 10 of your friends to participate in your cool game. Just
And
put
they can
Flint.
also invite like 10 friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could like really balloon that with 10 friends, inviting 10 friends, and the exponential growth capacity there is insane.
Entire city's worth of role players.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that if you actually did that exponential growth after like 3 or 4 iterations, you've got like the world. So
It's like
everybody.
a marketing campaign, right?
It's like an
MLM.
like the bacon number.
Yes.
The connections to Kevin Bacon. It's always like 3.
Yes.
5
Oh,
or
awesome. Jogos, I'm so glad that you're using it.
It's super awesome. We all love it.
Yeah. So Kenny and everyone else in the chat, if you would like to win a shot at getting your own copy of Legend Keeper, type Flint into the chat while we go on break. And
YouTube folks.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Go
they-
to Twitch. Yeah.
oh yeah, all the YouTube folks. Actually, I don't think that we're streaming on YouTube because this is coming from Mike's computer. But
Sorry,
either
YouTube
way,
folks.
Flint in the chat, and you are good to go.
I thought of you.
Yes,
Know that.
you folks that are
Know
not.
that I remembered you.
Yes.
Thoughts were given.
Yes,
I'll
that's
leave
right.
that in the cut. Ethan.
YouTube podcast folks, you can't win anything, but I love you.
Yeah, we love you so much. Yeah, understood, Kenny. You certainly could give it to someone else or what have you. Oh, or anybody who's in the chat. I just want to make that offer available to
Well,
everybody. We're
Most
gonna
of
go...
us can't enter because we've already won, so somebody's
Yeah,
got to
so
enter.
go for it, Kenny.
Indeed, indeed. All right, let's go to break, and we'll come back and give away a copy of Legend Keeper.
Cool. So we will see everybody in 10 minutes-ish or so.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
cool. 10 minutes, great.
All right. See you then. Yes. So, hi everybody. We are back.
Yeah. Yay, back.
Yes. So, yes. So everybody's been kind of bouncing around here, getting some information about what's going on with this old manor house here in Six Towers.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yes. Good
Let me
point.
give
Oh,
away
Legend Keeper.
our Legend Keeper license. All right, I think we had the one, so I'm going to have the site stop listening, and I'm going to have it roll.
Ta-da.
And
Wait.
oh
What?
no, I messed it up. Well, we all know that it was Kenny. We all know that it was Kenny, right? 'Cause,
Congrats, Kenny.
yeah. So Kenny, via Twitch, whisper to me your email address, and I will shoot that over to the Legend Keeper folks and get you a license for Legend Keeper. If you have a friend that runs all your games, like a GM that always runs your games, maybe gift it to them. So I would want their email address, but yeah, congrats, Kenny, on winning the thing.
Yay!
Yay.
Sorry, my giveaway
50-50
machine broke.
shot.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, sorry, Mike, to cut you off. We are good to go.
Oh, no problem. Yes, so we've been going around, we've been finding information about this building in Six Towers so that we can try to lay claim to the dead drop that has been being used by someone in it in the meantime.
We presume it's the wraiths, right? That's our assumption.
Yes, you presume it's the race. There's been a lot of like junky types going in and out of that building itself. Who knows? Could be anything. But like anything in this city, if it's something worth being a thing, somebody has laid claim to it. So you're going to have to try to take it over. So in order to do that, we're going to have to do a score. So we will get to decide what kind of score is going to deal with the approach that you guys want to use. Right? So
Right.
the list of options for scores, again, are assault, which is to do violence against a target, deception, lure, trick, or manipulate, stealth, trespass unseen, occult, engage a supernatural power, social, to negotiate, bargain, or persuade, or transport, carry cargo or people through danger. So cargo is not really what you're after here. I can definitely tell you that much.
Right.
What was the second one again?
Deception, lure, trick, or manipulate.
Or social, I
I
think.
think we're
our-
infiltrating, right?
Yeah, I think
More or
either
less.
I think either we are taking this thing by some kind of force, or maybe we're trying to trick one of the wraiths and nab him and do some forced negotiation. Right? And that would be like a kidnapping stealthy thing.
Could be.
Um,
Yeah, my only issue with that one is that we don't know anyone specific to grab
Yeah, I
that would
just got a face.
that would be
Mm.
important necessarily. Like we know the location, and that's kind of the most information we have is based around the location.
Yep.
Mhm.
So whatever we do will kind of have to be centered on the location itself, I would assume.
I mean, if you also decided that we want to find out like a way to make contact with the wraiths directly, we can do that.
Because that might lead to us just having a gang brawl in the streets.
Yeah, because then, yeah, it could be, you assault them on a street corner, or you
Just beef over turf.
or you do the social thing where it's like you do just show up and like convince them that they should stop using this dead drop and give it over to you guys because of reasons. So,
Because of reasons.
good
What do you guys-
reasons, reasons
what do you
that you
think?
guys know.
I'm sorry, can you read them to me again?
They're on your character sheet as well.
Never mind, I will look at my character sheet.
Under
Yeah.
alchemicals, which is under your load and stuff. So I think
I'm all about assaulting, but
So I think we have like a reasonable amount of skill in social things and in some violence going on, but I think and like hunting people down. So I think any of those things, but I think two of us definitely have a strong social background if that's the route we want to go, and try to set up a meeting. And if things go sideways, we can go from there. But
Okay. We
And
can be intimidators.
do we want to check out? Like, do we want to go to the actual place and like do it there, or
I think we'd have to, right?
okay?
Yeah. So I mean, I think
Mhm.
a couple things that may still be things that we want to talk about, like doing a little more research on, would be the race themselves and like a detailed survey of the building itself.
Which
Right,
we
'cause we
have
kind
as
of-
plans.
Yeah,
so-
we have the plans. We've been nearby and we've looked around to see who is coming and going, and there's candlelight in the window, but I don't know that we like really kind of like inspected the building itself, kind of deal.
I
Mhm.
mean, we went by it, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean, that would be like an infiltration, even like sneaking in and getting a good lay of the land and just seeing what we find.
can we do the twofer, which is like you do one to set up the next, or like we did last time, or no?
As long as we all end up doing the thing. I'm
Together,
cool.
yeah, together.
Yeah,
not
well, it
separate.
sounds like what Mike's offering is we can do one more step of investigation before jump cutting, or we
Yeah.
can just jump cut with the knowledge that we've got. And I mean, because we can make this like this jump cut and be we stake the place out until we catch another guy using the drop, right? And at that point, we act on like some sort of
Right.
stealth op or some sort of combat op or something like that, right?
Yeah, I think our plan in detail is going to give us most of this information.
Mm-hmm.
Like once we pick a plan and decide how we're going to go about it, that'll give us a good bit.
I'm good for whatever you guys want to try.
Because we can definitely do it a number of ways. We can just straight up make it a business transaction, or we can do it via subterfuge.
I mean,
Or just
I don't
wreck
really
the-
think we have anything to business. Like, I don't think we have much to offer. Maybe.
Work
maybe
always needs to be done.
not. True.
So what I'll say is, based on what Flint said before, if you're going to nab somebody at the Dropbox, that's somebody picking up.
Oh, not the person using it.
Not
Mhm.
I
who,
did-
yeah, like he's never seen somebody dropping stuff off there.
Well,
So I think
would my character surmise that watching the wraith drop into the sewer hole, that's probably their entry in? That's why nobody would see it.
It's a reasonable assumption, yes.
Okay.
Or maybe that was somebody. Maybe that was the wraith picking up from whatever their
Mm.
contact is, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I kind of feel like for this op, we're either going to be, because of the amount of information we have, we're either going to assault it and try and like barge in and swap out all the locks, kind of thing, like aggressively take this thing over, or presume that the wraiths own it and try and buy it from them via social means.
I mean, I think another viable way is to just sneak in and see what's there. And if somebody tries to show up, we take care of them.
Then we assault or
Kaboom!
talk.
Then we assault or talk. But I think like that's
Yeah.
I'm
I
into
don't
that.
yeah.
I'm into
'cause
that.
I don't know if that would be a separate score as just scoping out the building necessarily, or if that's the same thing. But
If we
I'm
could
okay with
literally
us
do what
doing that
David
as
said.
something leading up to a score still.
Okay.
If that's
Okay.
so.
so I think we definitely need that on the ground. Look at what's going on in the building.
Woo! Let's go. Yeah.
That seems like necessary information.
Perfect.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't
Okay.
get it.
No. You got us other stuff that we needed. I just, for us to start the op, it sounds like
Yeah.
it makes sense for us to get one more key piece of information.
Which we can all do together
Yay.
as a family.
Okay.
Is that what
We're
this is?
missing one person in our family then.
Sometimes a family is two half demons and two disgraced former rich people.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
And a creepy little girl.
And a
a
creepy little kid
girl
that you're happy when
who's
she stays
somewhere-
at home, right? Like
who's somewhere. She's somewhere.
You still
she's
drinking?
fine.
Yep.
Demas isn't dead, so he's like, we're good.
Yeah, Divas is like, yeah, this spider web over here hasn't turned black and had my arm rot off. She's good. She's
Right.
fine so far. That's
We're fine.
okay. Yeah. So this 3-story gray stone manor house here on Colburn Avenue. Um, it's made out of cut stone rock. It has some ornate ironwork on it. It has a lot of these. Um, when they ran metal bars through it to do like the superstructure on the end, they had like screw ends on them, and they have like these star-shaped decorations bolted on that you can see around. And then it's got like kind of scroll work around the windows and stuff like that. Um, but this place, like, it's missing bricks out of above the doorway. It doesn't close all the way. Um, you can smell um, you can smell smoke coming from somewhere in the building. There's probably cooking something somewhere. But it's dark except for like what you can see for like a little bit of light flickering on the second floor.
Doesn't look particularly difficult to enter. Should we just try the front door?
Sounds good to me, boss.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Just walk in the front door.
All right. Yeah. You walk up to the front door.
Like we own the place.
Like we're about to own the place.
So it's unlocked, and you kind of like have to put some pressure behind it. Like there's like a chair like behind it to try to like prop it shut from the inside. But like all around where the locks should actually be, like it's been like wailed on with like a crowbar here. So like that chair is the only thing holding it from the inside. The inside is kind of like, little rivulets of water running down the walls. Wallpaper is kind of peeling off a bit. There's still like some like what would have been at one point serviceable antiques, like rugs that have like gone threadbare and stuff like that, in here. But this whole level, this first floor, is all just looks mostly dark. There's kind of some of these old bashed up antique pieces of furniture and rugs that are just soaked with water. Like you step on it, get the whole like puddle on top kind of deal. And like trash, like along like the little corners along the edges where the wall and the floor come together everywhere. It's just trash lying all over the place.
What a shame.
Urban decay.
As you kind of spread out and like try to like take a look at more of what's going on, you can see a little bit of light. Like there's like a big staircase in the middle that goes up to the second floor. You can see a little bit of light coming from somewhere up there that would like correspond with like the room that you would see from outside. And there's a big spot where like there's a big wall, right? It has like this fancy damask patterned wallpaper, and there's a painting frame, a painting where the middle of it has been shredded out, and kind of going across the wall, across the front of the painting, and back across the wall, like this text that runs the whole way across, is just like, freedom for Scotland.
I'll kind of nudge Demas. The remnants of the freedom fighters.
Perhaps we have friends here.
Perhaps you have friends here.
I don't know about that.
No friends are
Looks
mine.
like it hasn't been.
Okay.
All right.
Continued looking around. I'm
Okay.
walking around here like I own the place. I think it's my tactic. It's just walking until someone tells me I shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Sounds like
find the
trouble.
corner of the building where like the dumbwaiter should be on this floor, and it's like that wall has kind of like warped, and like the whole grate and like handle for that little opening and stuff like that, that's all rusted, like totally solid shut. Like you're not opening it from the inside here. But the stairway is still there that goes upstairs.
Are we all wearing our masks?
Yeah.
I think now's work
Now
time.
Group business. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna look to Ghost. Ghost, will you join me downstairs? I'd like to see the bottom of this dumbwaiter.
Yeah, no problem, brother.
Okay. I'll see you two in a moment.
We'll head upstairs, see if we can make some friends.
I'm with you, Demas.
Split the party, split the party, split the party.
We just keep doing it.
Just makes sense.
Weird. Yes. So, yeah, you guys can go downstairs to try to see like where the kitchens are and stuff like that. At the bottom of the stairs, clearly there was some of the more of this like abandoned once antique furniture down here. But when you get down to like, a couple feet from being down in that level, it's like a desk, like a big wooden desk with like the carved little like clawed feet kind of thing and stuff like that. That's like upside down and like floating, because there's like knee deep at least water here throughout the whole basement.
Lovely.
Yeah, so actually before getting all the way into the basement, MTO will look at Ghost and say, perhaps we should check in with the others and see if there's more to be gained upstairs before venturing further.
Yeah,
come
I
on,
think
it's just a little water.
Is that just water though? Is it just water?
I think you Ohm knows enough to like look like kind of over there in the corner that's like, you would come down and there would be a landing, and then over here is where like the sewer connection, and like you just see like this little like from there.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. I'll just
like,
ask him the question and not actually need to answer it. That this is
it's like
all fed.
Right when you say, "Are we sure it's just water down there?" It's like, like.
You know what? Think you're right, bruh. Think it's time for us to leave.
Mm-hmm. Thwarted by feces, we may return. we head back upstairs and join the other two.
Okay. Yeah. So they don't hang out downstairs very long. While the rest of you guys were starting to, yeah, like maybe we won't go down. Yeah.
Nope. Whole lot of nope down there.
Mm-hmm.
Whole lot of nope.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Great. Shall we?
Yes. Let's see who's cooking.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know.
Yeah. As you get up here, there is the smell of something. It smells like, it smells tart. Like it smells like acidic. And there is light, that little bit of flickering light coming from a door that's like almost totally closed, but like the doors are kind of warped, so it's like it's pressed up as far against the door as the door frame as it'll go, without like having to like shave it down and shove it to try to close the door all the way. But yeah, that there's and there's like that little flicker of light coming from that sliver where it's not completely closed.
Are we trying to be loud, or?
I prefer to be quiet.
I can do my best to be quiet.
I mean, we have to open this door, right?
We are here to talk to them. I'm surprised they haven't said anything yet.
Okay, I'll just open it with impunity.
I will not. I'll be stealthy. If that matters. I'll be out of the door frame and quiet off to the side while he marches in as if he owns the place.
I'm gonna let Demas get shot first, and then I'll continue in.
Follow up with a grin. Hey, so since you killed my buddy.
Finger gun.
They say no, I didn't do it, but they're lying because everybody's lying, and it'll be great. Yeah, so you can get up there and it'll make a really loud creaking noise if you try to press it to open it. I think there's probably even like a floorboard there that's like warped and like that makes noise too as you get close to it. But inside this, it looks like it used to be somebody's fairly nice bedroom once upon a time. There's the frame from like a 4-poster bed with like the top taken off, like up against the windows in the front of the building, and there's like a real small fire there. So like as you're coming into the room, like that's the side you can see, and then you do hear like people as you come in, the side that's the wall, it was like against where the door was at to your kind of out of the side of your vision as you turn to see them. There's a couch. Like it's obviously threadbare and it's missing a bunches of like foam and padding and stuff like that off it. It's badly scratched up. And there's three guys sitting on this couch watching this small fire in the middle of like what used to be a bed frame, and just kind of chuckling at it. There are all the guy who's closest to you anyway, who you can see clearly. He looks to be from Scotland. He's got that sort of like light complexion, kind of like sandy blonde hair kind of deal, pulled back. His eyes are really sunk in. He looks really, really gaunt. And he'll actually turn to like realize that you're there. And you can see like his eyes are just like super bloodshot. And like he just like kind of turns like, that's not the mask the ghosts usually wear.
The ghosts.
It's like ghosts. The ghosts. They make all the noise. And then like the one in the middle like leans forward and he looks at you. He's like, ghosts. That's not the usual ghosts.
Do you mean wraiths?
And I think the third guy will lean forward and he's still kind of like looking away from you. He's like, wraiths. Yes, wraiths. And he kind of turns to look at you, and you kind of realize that he looks like really kind of pale and bluish, and like kind of like most of his head is like kind of missing, and you can kind of see through him. Like, yeah, wraiths, the wraiths. They have the stuff that we need. I should get more. But seeing a ghost is like bad news. So,
Right.
so Demas, your options are either to hold in place or to wildly backpedal out of the room.
So it is a ghost.
The
I would like to try to
third
keep my
guy on the
composure.
couch was a ghost.
Okay.
I would certainly like to try to keep my composure because we're having a conversation still.
Yes. So I think you're gonna have to resist it to kind of stay there.
Okay.
And I think there's also gonna be like level 2 like spooked harm. Like this guy's like he's like missing like most of his head. Like his shirt is like covered in blood, but he's like, yeah.
So is that a resistance roll with like resolve or something?
Yes.
I resist.
I resist.
He says.
I resist.
Exactly. That's it. That's the whole game right there.
J'accuse.
Yes. So resolve would be the.
Great. No bonus dice? No. I don't think so.
Not really for this one.
Is this covering the harm and the or will that be 2 rolls to do that?
It's 2 things, and when there's 2 things, you get to resist a thing.
Okay. Okay, well, so harm or leaving the room, right?
Harm or like leave in terror or kind of like get scared into place.
I would like to not suffer any harm at the moment. Because it seems a bit early for that.
Okay. So yeah, if you resist it, it'll come down to level 1, like scared.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That tracks. So we'll see. I resolve. I have 3 dice.
Ooh, nice.
So that's
That's
I rolled a
nice.
6. So that's
Yep.
like no
So
stress,
it's yeah, it's level 1 scared, and no stress.
right? Okay. I'm one scared and no stress. Yeah. So Demas will just close the door.
Demas.
There is a specter inside that room who is missing half of his situation. Not like you,
So
Oh, okay.
up here, he's missing. Not.
Yeah,
here.
not here. up here.
So
It's quite terrifying.
It seems unsustainable.
Well, he's a ghost. I don't
Ghost.
think he particularly cares.
Did we
Yes.
hear their voices?
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
place belongs to the Wraiths.
But also a ghost lives here.
Also, a ghost lives here.
And two of
The
your...
Wraiths deliver something that the ghost enjoys, apparently.
What would that be? Would I know?
Where's the child? I don't.
Would any of us know?
Yeah. I have a tiny bit of a tune. Do I have any understanding of what ghosts normally just need to maybe stay around as ghosts, or to stay from going insane or something like that?
I think if we want to like take stock of the situation, because everybody was able to hear them talking. We know that there's ghosts in there. If we wanted to do like a survey action, to be like, let's get the deal here. That would be in bounds. If someone wanted to do that, or if we wanted to do that as a group action,
I have
can you
one
that
roll-
kind of thing.
I have one in entombment. Can somebody roll for me? My computer just went down for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're still deciding what we're actually after.
Oh,
Yeah, so I want to understand what it is that they have over this ghost. So maybe there's some evidence of it around here or something like that. Maybe that's the survey role, is to like look around throughout this house. What is it that the wraiths are bringing that's feeding this ghost, so that it's compliant, or that it likes them, or that it doesn't go off and kill everybody in this house? What is that? So maybe we can take over that supply.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
yep.
Who has survey?
I don't have any attune or survey. I don't.
Or
think. So
I have survey. I don't have a tune.
Yeah. So I think survey is what we're after right now. A tune would be if we were trying to interact with the ghost directly and get it to
I've
do
done my
something.
part. What do you
You
guys?
did
say?
it well.
I'll pull out my Spirit Bane charm necklace that I have. But let's look around. Let's do a survey. Let's do that. Ghost, do you want to give me a stress so I can get an extra die?
Yes, somebody, Mike, if
Yeah,
you can give
yeah.
her a stress.
No, give you a stress so I can get a die. That was
Yeah.
the deal.
You use Griffith takes one stress, which is helping Maribel, and gives her an extra die.
Risky.
Yes.
Effect.
Risky for the bisky.
Standard.
And one bonus die. Any devil's bargain.
I should be able to offer you one, and I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Because I'm doing so good on them tonight.
Yeah. Anybody else have a devil's bargain they want to throw out?
For surveying, so is this surveying like the building as a whole, or?
Probably more around this part of the building, kind of around these guys. Like this has been kind of their little hidey hole.
I mean, some accidental ghost exposure and getting a little spooked would be a good one, right? Like that seems like a reasonable risk for the situation. It's like if you want to look around them, you have to see them.
Yeah.
I'll take it if that's good, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. If we'll do like a level 1, like, disturbed harm or
If I
something like
fail,
that.
or
I think that one's if you take the devil's bargain, it's
bargains,
regardless.
okay,
You get the die, but it just happens.
The negative just hits.
that's
Yeah.
fine. I'll take it. Spirit Bane charm and all. 335.
Okay.
Hey, glad you did the bargain.
Yeah. So how do I take harm?
Just type it in one of the level 1 box.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay, I know what the outcome of that is, but it's not something that's. I know what the complication from that is, but it's not something that's immediately visible on screen. So, okay. As for information, the guys that are in there, like when any of the times you've heard of the Wraiths before, they're all dudes who are kind of dressed like what Griffith saw, right? They kind of have a uniform, so to speak, and they all wear masks. The guys who are in there are definitely not wearing the uniform. Which even if they were off duty, they'd like, you unbutton the coat and then it's like you're just wearing a coat. And then there's a lot of trash around here that is it's drug trash, right? And the guys in there all look like what you would expect to see from someone who uses what's called Spark, right? And it's made by mixing the inky black water from the rivers with Leviathan blood and like turning that into a drug.
Sounds like I've probably said this exact thing before, but that's the worst thing you could do to your body. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, no, you saw what those guys looked like. Heck, even the ghost that's in there looked like one of those Spark users.
Man,
he's missing half his head.
Yes,
man. That's what I get you.
And I think as everybody's there, and you're kind of like doing the survey, and you're like kind of aggregating all this information, it's like these guys don't look like they're wraiths. They do look like they're heavy drug users. The door like isn't closed all the way, and you hear the voice of like the one that's like missing a bunch of his head. It's like, yeah, one more hit. Yeah, we can get one more hit. We need the money for it. I'll get the money from Jewel. I'll go get the money. I'll go do that now. And you see him come and like walk up to the door and kind of like fizzle and disappear.
Yeah.
No, sir.
So
Jewel is the
blood dealer.
Yeah, friends. I may have a role to play here.
Oh.
Jewel and I are acquainted, and perhaps that would be an avenue to understand how to gain leverage in this situation.
So I think you'll also hear one of them from inside will say, it definitely doesn't click to him that this dude is dead, right? It's like, I don't know, man. He's been going to Jewel to get the money for scores a lot lately. I don't know if he'll still be able to get the money for another hit. So.
Don't do it.
Supply of Spark.
I think Ghost will hear that and just slowly put his hand on his gun axe. Like, don't stay in your room.
Like, oh yeah, the ghost got up and like walked up to the door, like facing you guys, and like as he hit the doorway, he kind of like blinked out.
Demas right now might be a good time.
Or
to discuss
right.
non-ghost people.
Right. Well, what else do you think they could tell us? I mean, they know the Wraiths are here.
I'm trying to think of an actual answer to that.
So what you could achieve, right? Just out of character, like you could go in there and ask these humans, how is it that the Wraiths are controlling this place? Are they keeping the ghost happy and the ghost is controlling this place? Or is there something else? Because we need to figure out how to control this building and take it from them. And these humans might know, these Skaven might know, not Skaven, Jesus.
Wrong game.
So many games.
Rat people.
Yes. Fuck me. They may understand what it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll back you up since I can tell when people are lying.
Cool. Yeah. Demas will just kick the door back open and say, "Friends, gentlemen, fellow countrymen of Scoville."
They kind of like slowly turn to like, oh yeah.
Where are these Wraiths?
You're not them? No, you're not them.
I am. I'm trying to find them. I lost my friends.
They don't come in here much. They're usually just on the roof.
On the roof. Thank you.
Shall we go
Enjoy
to the
your
roof?
evening. To the roof. I'm tired of talking to these wastrels.
Yeah.
Disparaging your own people. I love it. All right, let's go to the roof.
I think
And you
as
say, I am disparaging the effects of what the Empire has wrought upon my people.
as you're there and as you're like, okay, we're gonna go to the roof. Like the first guy looks at you, he's like, yeah, the roof. That's where they are. And the second guy leans forward, he's like, yeah, they only hang out on the roof. And the third guy like leans forward there again and like turns to you with like the.
Where did he come from?
It's like,
He's already back.
yeah,
He's
and he
already
says,
back.
we should get another hit. I bet I can get the money from Jewel. I should go see Jewel. And that's and he gets up and he walks to the door and he shimmers out of existence as he hits the door again.
Oh, that's sad. He's in a causal loop.
He's in a time loop. Oh no!
Maybe that's the last thing.
Sucks.
Maybe that's the last thing he said before he died.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then half his head's missing. He probably just opened that door and got wasted. But not by drugs, but by like a gun.
Right. Oh my god, and those two people are his buds. They're like all friends.
And they're all so high they don't even know the difference. It's great,
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck, man.
That is just so
Dusk
depressing.
ball.
Dun, dun.
Damn.
We have experienced the setting.
Damn.
Curious, is that like that you just came up with that, or that was like a thing in the book? I'm just curious.
They talk about there are certain types of ghosts, and one
Uh-huh.
type of ghost that they talk about are ones that like they do get caught in a loop of like leading up to when they died, especially if they died a violent death.
That's awesome, Mike. That's awesome.
So
Oh,
That's cool. That's creepy, but cool.
Man, that's
Um,
cool.
so yeah, there are stairs inside that go up to the roof that are jammed. Like the top of the door at the top of here, like you can probably see like the tips of nails from the outside.
are we trying to be quiet anymore?
Well, we don't want to destroy the place that we're about to take over.
Well, that's what I was kind of trying to get to is the guys inside were squatting in the building, but they're not controlling the dead drop. And like there was another door for the dead drop in the room that they were in, and it's all screwed up and like just rust over the entire corner of the room kind of deal.
Okay, so you drop something in the roof and you lower it down, and there's a place
Yeah.
to pick it up.
So
like
the
idea of how
Wraiths
this
have been
operates.
operating this, putting stuff in from the roof, and that's why nobody ever sees anybody dropping something from the street. It's because it's
Right.
only pickups at ground level.
Right.
So with that information, it's the Wraiths.
It's plan
That's
time.
how it operates. How do we want to try to take over this deal?
So how do we want to do this? Because now is the time.
This is the
Plan-
jump cut moment.
This is the jump cut. This is the plan detail. We go.
I
Are we
would
trying to be
love.
nice?
I would love to. I would love to maybe turn the dead drop into something that traps one of them. Like there's an old like Bushman tale where like if you want to get a monkey to show you where the water is, you trap them so their hand is stuck inside of like a termite mound. And so I'd love to make it so that we fashion the dead drop so that it traps one of them, and then we can like use leverage on them and either, you know, convince them through the power of your persuasion or by power of threats that that this is now our dead drop.
So deception.
That's what I'm going for. That's my thought.
Okay.
That's my idea. I don't know. Other ideas, I'm totally open to it.
You are the tinker.
Yeah, that's the way I would think of it. Is like, oh, let me tinker up a trap. Sure.
I like it.
Yep.
Then nothing
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
few stories of a fall to grease the wheels of communication.
Yeah, I'll get my Joker on this one. Poor choice of words.
To the Do the Batman thing. Where are the drugs?
Where?
Where are the drugs?
Let's do this.
Okay.
Do
Let's
it.
do
Yep.
it.
So
Yeah, that's
we're doing
perfect.
a deception
Boom.
plan. The method
Jump
of
cut.
deception is that we're creating a trap of sorts here.
Yeah,
Is
you're
everybody
deceiving
going
them
to be
into thinking it's safe?
okay? Are people going to be like on the roof, on the next roof over, like on that floor that's right underneath that? Like, where are folks going to actually
Yeah, I think
end
we
up once?
set the trap, right?
Mhm.
We make the bear trap happen, and it's going to be pretty obvious when the trap goes off to us, either via signal or maybe one of us is watching. I like the idea of us being like the next roof over or underneath. Actually, how easy is it to get on this roof just from where we know? Is it should we be thinking of scaffolding from the next roof over and like scampering across some plank, or realistically is the only way on the roof from inside this building?
I think it's probably because the door inside here is like kind of jammed shut. Sorry, the door to the roof is jammed shut. Um, it's probably easier to get access from the outside. Climbing up a 3-story building in the rain is not great. The other buildings nearby, you would probably be able to get up to the top.
Okay. So that's probably also how they get here, is from the other buildings on the top. So we need to be kind of careful about which roof we pick. But yeah, I think we set the trap and then stake out on one of these buildings and just try and stay hidden until the trap goes off.
And I believe
Yep.
Ghost has a big bad gun for
Oh, yeah.
some long range insurance,
A big gun
Fine,
axe. Yes, I can't wait.
and also
Yes.
the gun axe. But I think he also just has a big gun.
Yeah,
Oh.
I have a fine rifle. Also, I'm a weapons dealer in this game. It seems.
In all
Nice.
games.
You just have a
Nice.
lot of
I mean-
options.
I have
Int-
noticed in my other game, I am collecting a fair amount of weaponry.
Okay. Let's do this.
Let's do it. I'm about it.
Score.
Okay.
Engagement.
We do get an extra die on our engagement roll. So.
Yes.
Oh, and we have the plans for the building. So we like know stuff about the building as part of our engagement, right?
yes.
Yes, I love it. We've done well. All of this for a good engagement roll.
Yes. Always.
All right. So we have chosen a plan. We have chosen its detail. We are going to cut to the action, describing the scene as the crew starts the operation and encounters their first obstacle, which is going to be a couple of y'all up on the roof as Ohm is like crafting this contraption to spring as they open this like the door on the top is actually like functional, so it would be something to like flash them from there.
Right.
So we make an engagement roll. So who wants to be on tap for running this fortune roll?
I
can do it.
nominate David.
Or David can do it.
Okay,
It's his
I'll do
plan.
it. Is it a fortune roll? Roll engagement. Roll engagement. There we go.
Yep.
The crew roll engagement. All right, I've hit the button.
Okay, so you start with 1 die for sheer luck.
Beautiful.
You have 1 die bonus from Demus's action before.
Yes. Weaving the web.
Is the operation particularly bold or daring?
I would say it's daring.
Okay, that's 3 dice. Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Not really.
No.
It's like
Trap and threaten to throw a guy off a roof. Seems pretty
yeah,
simple
like
to me.
yeah. If,
Pretty
I
simple.
guess if the trap doesn't work, we're kind of fucked. But
But then we get the rooftop chase.
oh yeah, that's true. That's
Yes.
true. Okay, yeah.
Or Ghost can wing him.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay, does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
I mean, they don't.
Yes, because they
I
don't
think
know what's
they're-
happened.
Yeah, they're expecting that to be relatively safe, right? Because that's their.
Oh yeah,
They've
covert
been
it
doing
has
drop
been
area.
for a while. So yeah, that's reasonable. So we're 4 dice now.
Oh,
Pretty
man.
good.
We're gonna
Is the
really
target
run this.
strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations?
You tell
No.
us.
I think there probably was some stuff up there for trying to keep it like you had to figure out the latch that's not going to like stab you with a needle kind of deal to get through it. So I think
Yes.
we'll take 1 back off for that.
Okay, so I've lost a die. Damn it.
Yes, so we're at 3
Lateral
dice right
move.
now.
We're still
Yes.
at 3.
Gotta got 3.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
Yes.
August gave us the plans,
Flint
Okay.
gave us info.
and Flint gave us some info.
And
Okay.
and my character started figuring out it was the race.
The race, right? Okay. So I think that's still 1 die. So that's.
Mhm.
But we're back. We're back to 4 dice. Are
7 dice.
are any enemies or rivals interfering in the operation?
I mean, technically, we're going after a rival.
I don't know. We've been seeing some lamp blacks in the area, but it doesn't seem like they have really caught wind of us and our operation. So it doesn't
Yeah,
seem
I don't
like
think any of our
Yeah.
special people on our sheet are particularly interested or involved. So
Okay.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Are there any other elements you want to consider? Lower tier targets would give an extra die. Higher tier targets will give you a -1d. The wraiths
they're
are
tier 2.
okay.
remember
So
correctly,
that'll
so.
come back down to 3 then.
All right. 'Cause they're
Maybe there's a
strong.
situation in the district that makes the operation more or less tricky.
It's rainy and gross.
It's rainy and gross. I think that'll probably be more of a when we do have to do the rooftop chase across the boards between the rooftops, it's like then we get to keep track. It's rainy and gross. Good
That's
luck.
gonna be a problem.
Okay, so 3 dice.
All right. Are we good
Do
for me to
it,
hit the
do
button?
it,
Yes,
Yep.
do the button.
I roll the button. Oh
Okay,
gosh.
not bad.
All right. All right. We got a 5. Woo.
I think it's the baseline. It's risky.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's you. There's definitely something on here that was meant to mark that the thing had been messed with, and you think you've managed to put that back the way it was.
Sure.
But you're not 100% that you put that back the way it was.
Yeah.
But you've also you do have the you have your mechanism that's mounted inside. I keep imagining it's something where once they reach in through the opening, it loops around and grabs their arm or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a maybe 2 metal plates with a hole for a wrist. Will just come slamming shut
Chunk.
and
Okay.
and hook your hand in the thing or something like that.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
it's done in a way to where it's doesn't matter where your hand is, it just kind of slides into that.
Yeah, it's like 2 wedges bringing you towards the cup for both the blades, or not blades, but both the metal things. Because I was thinking a rope that was just a lasso. Well, that's it's a knife and they're free.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something that's a little bit more substantial. Maybe it's a cable, so a simple knife wouldn't do it. But yeah, it'd have to be something like that.
Okay.
I think for this, I would bring my tinkering tools to make this happen.
Oh yeah, we have to determine our load. Right?
Yes, so you need to determine load, which is how much stuff you've brought along with you.
Yeah, I'm bringing 5 stuff because I feel like my character's gonna have to bring a lot of tools to make this happen.
Yeah, and this isn't so I don't feel like this job is particularly socially entangled, so I think 5 would be reasonable because we should probably look like we're up to something if we're running across rooftops and junk. So
right.
I was gonna bring 6, but I'll knock it back down to 5.
I mean, you could totally do more, but
No. Yeah,
I'm just saying we don't necessarily need light if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Once light, you're still able to be kind of undercover in what you're doing, right?
I
Medium,
don't think we need to be.
Yeah, medium. You may be carrying some stuff that's going to be fairly obvious, and if you go heavy, you're carrying a duffel bag full of crowbars, right? If people spot you, they know stuff is up.
Thing?
Load gets chosen individually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and that just determines how many boxes you can tick during the heist. You don't have to pick them now. It's just as it comes up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go for 5 for me.
Yeah, same.
And I already know I'm bringing tinkering tools. I guess fine tinkering tools. Oh, italics don't count for a load. Oh, okay, yeah. No,
yeah, so you can tick italic things without counting against your 3 or your 5 or what have you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna bring my fine tinkering tools to make an exquisite trap out of this thing.
Okay. Yes. So the
Oh.
engagement roll is that is done. That is there. I think if you guys are trying to hide out and like find a spot where you can watch while this goes off, where is that spot? Is that the next house over, like across the like wooden beam bridge between the two? Is that
I would
just
like
trying
to
to
make a
stash behind something?
determination of like, how do people get over here? Like, what is like the safest way for them to get over here and then not be on that roof?
So there is one of these wooden beams that leads to another building over. But it's pretty rickety. Like it's pretty narrow. And besides that, it's just like it's the top. There's like the little like top nub where it's the top of the stairway, kind of like partial angled roof that would go back down. Um, Mostly open space up here. It looks like on one end, like they used to have like a I can't think of the right word. They used to have a coop for pigeons
Oh,
that was up
yeah,
here.
little hutch, little
Yeah,
bird
yeah,
hutch,
yeah. The aviary,
aviary,
something like that. Yeah, like over on one end, and then there's a metal pole that goes up that's like connected to the like it's connected to the electrical line. But you can see that this is the other end of the one that the kids in the street were playing with. Right? It would have connected up here once, and it goes up one direction, but it doesn't like continue out the other direction.
Yeah. So it's a sturdy cable, but it's not live.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so will Ghost be in sort of a sniping position to help, or would you prefer to be more active or more like on the ground kind of running?
Just in case it pops off, I could probably wing him. So I think I would actually be a sniper on this one. Because we're assuming that this is rooftop running, right?
Right.
Yeah, and that's the assumption that things will go bad and we will end up rooftop running.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I can slow him up and then eventually catch up, I think I would prefer sniping at this point.
And we're just going to like be like, this is our turf now.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out when we get to.
Yeah, what it's.
Well,
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That sounds like a later problem.
It does.
Later, you'll figure out what the problem is, then you can flash back to have a solution on hand. It'll be right. That's fine.
Yep.
It's what the game's there for.
Yep. Yeah, it's like geared for us as players to go in without all the information and to act like we actually did have all the information because we can flashback.
Yeah, the trade-off is that the more information we have beforehand, the less stress we have to spend to get it later.
Indeed.
Is the idea. So it's finding that balance is the big thing.
Cool.
Let's do it.
All right, yeah. So like the trap is set. You think you've managed to hide this thing back out. You're not entirely sure. Everybody's able to find their hidey holes. Sounds like Ghost, you're like headed off to like that other roof that's like connected by a board or something like that.
Yep.
Were others like hiding here behind the hutch or like the outcropping with the stairway or off to the rooftop?
I'd love to be able to step around the corner dramatically and
yes,
be like, welcome.
Okay, so not under the hutch where you have to like brush off the.
Right.
Well, welcome. Please have a seat. We want to talk about what you've been doing online.
Yes.
Look,
they said that spark was just regular water. That was
Yeah. So yeah, I think hiding out on this roof would be ideal if we could do that.
I think that reflects the riskiness too, right? Is that we're on the roof where the guy's going to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys have hunkered down into your spots. You see there's this one board that goes across to the other building, and in the distance you hear that noise that somebody, I forget who, when you were talking to people in the neighborhood, that noise,
Gareth,
Flint, I
right?
think,
or Flint told us that.
Flint or Grint, one of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody did. But you realize that that electrical cable that is still tied off to the top of that pole, but it's not live. Um, there's somebody coming down it with like a zip line,
Yes.
Straight assassin.
with like a
Let's
mechanical like thing on it for a drive, so that it would like go back the other direction too. But yeah, he comes in and he's got a nice hat. He's
Yes.
that's sci-fi.
Yes.
Has this nice mask. He's great. He's hanging out there.
He was like spiffy.
Yes.
That's damn
Can't
headphones
drop
wrecking
him
the
off
whole
a
look.
roof.
Yeah. But
And zip
he's got a bag slung under his thing, and he comes down that thing. It probably like also has like a strap that comes down so that he's got like a foot in it for like real support.
Beautiful.
But he lands and he's walking over to like where the box is for the opening for the dumbwaiter. And he does kind of like he grabs it, he starts to open it, and like kind of like cocks his head to the side. You're like, yeah, okay. Like opens it. And I think he takes something out of the bag to try to like hook it onto like the dumbwaiter cable. And as he does that, it's like it catches like it doesn't catch his whole hand, it grabs like his sleeve as he's like bringing his hand back out, like it triggers like a little bit late. So he's tangled in it, but he's not like totally locked into place like you had hoped he was going to be.
All right. Go.
That's the go time. So
Yes.
I'll try to like, I don't know, like incapacitate him in some way or make sure he's stuck at the very least. That's what I'm going for.
Okay.
Can I assist? I want to run up with him, and while he's like trying to make him stuck, I'm gonna be working on the device to like make the device actually do its job. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I needed to reset this spring real quick.
Yes.
You're like grabbing his arm, trying to like push it into the right spot.
Yeah.
Put it in the hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that work? Can I help in that way?
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, so Demas, how are you going about trying to incapacitate this guy?
Hold on, let me look at these things. I think it's just skirmish, right? Like I think that's what it's got to be. I'm kind of trying to wrestle him down.
Okay.
Like I don't think I really have a good position to try to do thing. I'm just trying to with physicality try to do that.
Chop him on the shoulder.
I think more like just head into the thing, so like he's a little dizzy, so that Sticks can get his hand in, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Like quick and dirty.
Yes. That's what we're all about here right now.
Yeah.
Getting it done.
I mean, I guess skirmish. So what's the position and effect?
So I think it's up here, and like skirmish maybe isn't super your thing, I don't think.
No, I've nothing in it. But
and he's kind of like, he's got this like long leather jacket that's all done up, like in case he was like, he's in like the garb.
Right.
And he's probably a little more coordinated at this kind of thing than you are. And it's been pouring down rain, and like he even just zip lined in the middle of the rain. So everything is wet and slippery. So I think it's desperate.
Okay, cool. That sounds good to me because that sounds like experience.
Yes.
And effect is
so I think standard, but do you have harm?
I have scared, but I don't know if I would be
scared. But it's
scared
level 1 harm. Well, it still has an effect.
Okay.
So I think that's it would be standard, but like you still have that vision of it's slippery out here, and like, oh god, if I slip and like smash his head, it'll look like the guy who had his head blown out, and like
fair.
So it's limited for effect.
And so I can boost my effect with pushing myself, right?
Yes.
So I'll do that. I think. Yeah. So I'll spend
Okay.
that 2 stress so I can just still be standard.
Okay. And then
And then
Ohm was trying to assist.
Yeah, so
Still?
I was gonna,
Okay.
I guess, burn a stress so that he can get extra die,
Yep.
and I'm just running up using my tinker skill to release a thing so that it gets a firmer grasp. But
Yep. Yep.
that's thematically what I'm doing. But really, I'm spending a stress, right?
Yep.
Okay,
and
perfect.
then is there a devil's bargain I could take?
Yes.
Because I've got 1 die now, but 2 dice would be better.
So you only had one. You had 0 die.
I
You
had
got
0.
1 die from Dave.
Yeah, 1 die from Dave, and then I already pushed myself for greater effect, but I could still, I think,
Okay.
take a devil's bargain for an extra die. But you can't
Yeah.
do 2 extra dice from that. You can only do 1.
Yeah, you either
Yeah.
push yourself for a die or you devil's bargain for a die. You can't do both, but you can still get the assistance die.
I can definitely. I have a great devil's bargain for you. You
Dude.
put your hand in the trap too. like the cops that are like, you know, they cuff themselves to the bad guy. You're cuffing yourself, and you're really hoping that by doing so, you're also going to get them cuffed in there with you. Or maybe that's too much. I don't know, Mike. You tell me. Is that no fun?
I'm good with that.
Cool.
Ethan, good with that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
What is the thing? It's right here in the book somewhere. It's like falling in love with trouble. Sure, that sounds like trouble.
Yes, that is entirely
That's-
All right, cool.
good trouble.
So submit. Okay, that sucks.
Oh,
Oh, that's no good.
Oh no.
But I do get 1 experience.
Yes.
Yes.
You do
So
get an
worth it.
experience. So
Worth it.
success.
Worth it.
All right.
I was
Was it
gonna
though?
follow up. If this fails, I was gonna take a shot at his leg.
So I think
With my-
Ohm gets like, you know, he gets the little screwdriver into the latch and like it opens back up, and Demas is here and he's grabbing the guy's hand and they both go in, but there's like 2 full-grown men with like their whole wrists and like all their clothes there. It's not going to fit in that one little hole that was meant to trap him.
Yeah.
So like it crunches down on both of you guys. Like the guy in the mask is screaming and Demas, like something is real bad. Yeah. Like that should have been like a level 2 harm.
I'll try to pull that one back a little bit. So that's prowess, right? That's like a physical.
Yeah.
My trap is really strong. It did a great job.
Cool.
Hey, it was supposed to hold him in place, right? It had to have a certain amount of
Okay.
like.
Yeah, it had some real oomph to it.
Okay, so
mine
it's
is the
3
highest.
stress. Yeah.
3 stress. Cool. That's a lot I've already got in the first action of this.
Yeah. So then it's level 1 harm for like sprained wrist, right? Instead of like, you know, crushed metatarsals or whatever that's named.
Mike,
Yes.
can I use tinkering tools to disable his ability to get away on the zipline?
Yeah, so like the device is still there and it's possible to like unhook it off it if you wanted to. If you're trying to like delicately disable it, like yes, you absolutely can, like, you know, if I mess with it here, then it's not going to spin or something. It's like if you want to just like
the damn thing,
bash it against a wall and like see if it cracks in half, you can do that too, right?
I
Like
really want to be able to use it later.
Just a moment.
That's that's a pretty dope tool. Yeah, you definitely want
Yeah,
to
I
keep that
guess-
for yourself.
I would like to do it carefully.
okay.
Ohm can make more of those.
Also,
Now that I've
yeah,
seen
but
it.
if he can see it, yeah.
Yeah, once he can like reverse engineer the pattern for it, then you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we need one, right?
Then,
Right.
then all you need is like, you know, not live electrical cables to be hanging out on. Like,
May I use finesse?
yes, you may.
Yes. I'm scared to ask for a devil's bargain.
I mean, it turned out pretty great for me, I think.
Hey, you got the guy, so I think it's good.
Actually,
I mean, I got him like a broken wrist. I don't know if I got him trapped, but I certainly got him an injury.
Yeah. Well, I think the good news is that I'm assuming Demas is right-handed and it's your left hand, right? But it's his right hand, so like he's like not as coordinated with whatever he has to like swing in your face. So.
Yes.
Actually, I think it would be great if it was his left hand and you lose that arm on this character too.
No, okay, I will say all my player characters are left-handed. They have to be, because I'm left-handed.
Okay.
I know it's a role-playing game, but that's one thing I will not
I will not
not
budge on this
compromise.
thing.
We need left-handed representation in this game.
Lefty represent.
Okay.
I think it's Left-Handers Day today too. So.
Oh, hey.
Position?
Position is, I mean, if you're just trying to like find a way to jam it so that it's not going to operate for right now, that's controlled.
I'm sorry, it's what? Controlled?
Controlled, yeah.
Sorry, I asked a question and I didn't listen for the answer. The effect?
Standard.
And bonus die? Using tinkering tools. I don't know if that matters.
That'll give you like an improved effect, so it would be the next step up from standard outcome. So
But I don't
even
need to do
if
that.
there's something that doesn't go great, then we would say, oh well, you don't get as much outcome, you'll still get standard. So
Mhm.
I also
it
have
helps.
disturbed as a harm.
Oh. Neat.
Then I think everything ends up balancing back out at standard again.
Okay. And Devil's Bargain?
It breaks, right? Oh no, that's something automatically
Well,
happens.
that's what she wants to happen. Yeah,
Well, I
no,
want
no,
it to
it accidentally
break so I
starts
can-
operating and takes you to a different building. No,
Yes!
that's
Devil's Bargain is that you slip and it falls off the building. Oh no, that's a fail.
Like you
Never
drop.
mind.
Well, yeah, and this is a thing that is going to happen, but it's going to happen so that she can maybe win.
Yeah. I'm just not gonna just roll one die.
Cool.
okay.
Hey!
Oh,
Six.
wow.
Look at
Didn't
that.
need it anyway.
I did it.
Look at that.
Yeah, you're like find like a tool and you're able to like jam it into there, like the
yeah.
like the main cog that does like the drive to like make it actually move places is definitely like not it's not going anywhere. Well, that's
Awesome.
I did a thing.
Repair hork.
I don't know the guys what they're doing, but I did a thing.
Yeah, so that is a good question. Like, what is the thing that you're doing here now? Because you've got this guy. He is screaming bloody murder. He's reaching around underneath his jacket, feeling around for something. Obviously. So yeah.
If he's trying, I was gonna say if he's trying to fool around, I think I would sick Cerberus on him, kind of like an attack dog kind of thing, to his other arm to keep him from doing anything. Or is that over too much, guys? Like,
I mean, he's
Seems
screaming bloody
reasonable.
murder, so
okay, hunt. Would this be a hunt for me? Yeah, I would think so.
I have an idea that I think would combine what I want to do and what you want to do.
All right.
Because I was going to try to command him to shut the fuck up. And to help me do that, I was going to use my concealed palm pistol that I could just kind of like spring load out into my hand and put up under him. Because we're kind of stuck here together, right?
Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
yeah.
the dog could help that, right? That's extra leverage. Is a demonic attack dog.
Is
Yeah,
that good
Yeah.
by you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
good by me. That works. That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
because I don't really have the stress to spend to help you. So me rolling, because I don't know what's your stress situation at.
I got 4 left, so I can spend the stress to help.
Okay,
you.
I also have 4 left, so it's kind of just whoever wants to roll dice.
What's you're using? I'm guessing command. What's your command at?
I only got 1, so I mean,
I got 2 in hunt.
cool.
So
Is that
Well,
so? We could do that instead.
okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I need you to be rolling command to get this guy to acquiesce to us.
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that's
that also makes
we don't
sense.
need this guy to die. We need him to give us control of this drop.
Right.
And so it's either you or Maribel that's gonna convince this guy.
I don't have command, so.
Oh, okay. Well then it's you.
And then I guess I'll use my hunt so you can use command later. All right. What's my position, Mike? Risky or desperate?
Wait.
My fault.
I think if you're sending Cerberus to assist him, like to be extra scary, then I don't think we actually need the hunt roll.
We need the command.
Oh.
Yeah, it starts to factor into Demas making a command roll.
Oh, okay.
So position would be.
I
Are we
want to
really
say
in control?
desperate. Like it's definitely not controlled. It's at least
Yeah,
risky. He's he's not in a good mood to be trying to listen in general right now.
Okay.
So I kind of want to call it desperate.
Okay, cool. And effect. So I have like less effect from injuries.
Right. But you've got Cerberus helping, and you've got your pistol.
Right.
So you're at. What is the name for the one above standard?
2 things helping the effect and like 1 thing hurting it.
Yeah.
Is it the level 1 harm? Or is it less effect for each level 1 harm? I don't.
No, it is 1 effect less if you have level 1 harm.
Okay, gotcha. So then it would be great.
Right.
Yep.
2 things helping, 1 thing hurting.
Yep.
Cool. And then go big or go home. I'm gonna use the stress for an extra die, even though that hasn't been going super great for me thus far.
Can I give him a stress also for him to get another die?
So you're giving me the stress for the greater effect.
Oh, for the greater. Okay.
And so I'll use the stress for an extra die.
Okay.
And so that'll give me 2 dice on this one, which is like, that's okay. Is that, so we're good? I think that's cool. 6.
Yeah.
Yay!
I love it.
And I get experience.
I love it.
That's all Ethan cares about.
That's the goal.
It's helpful, right?
It is. It's good. It's good.
Right? Yeah. I mean, you flick the wrist and like a little pepper box, like 4-barrel type pistol kind of deal or something like that, flips out, like kind of up in his face with it, like he's kind of like.
That doesn't even count against my load. That's just something I always got going on.
That's awesome.
My special.
I think
and it's like right up. I think it's like under his chin too. Like.
Yeah, if he wasn't wearing his mask, he would spit right now. But like he's
just spitting. He spits anyway, and it's just in his mask, and it's gross.
Yeah. You see the little dribble along the bottom where it's like the mask ends. Like, yeah, it's gross. Yeah.
Just let's be
like quiet
and have a conversation. And then I'm gonna play it off like I'm leaning on the hand that's in the trap, so like I'm very casually leaned now.
It's like he's definitely still like groaning and squirming where that hand is at, like like how would you let my hand out first?
Oh, should we make a trade?
While he's talking, Ohm would very much like to be going through that bag.
Okay.
The bag of things.
I would like to, while he has his attention, I would like to stealth the bag away. Like, I'm right there, but
okay,
I don't want him to notice.
Snag whatever's in the bag and kind of get it over to the side to check it out.
I don't want him to notice that I'm rifling through his shit while he's distracted by the guy with the gun under his chin.
Okay. If it's trying to stay a hidden thing, then like it is definitely going to be an action roll. So.
Okay. All right. Would that be would that be a prowl?
Finesse.
Typically, that would be finesse.
Like sleight of hand.
Yeah.
But technically, you can do any action you want. It just affects your position and effect.
So there is that "don't be a weasel" rule, but besides that part, it's fine.
No, I'm fine with doing finesse. I'm fine with doing finesse.
Don't be
okay.
a weasel.
So yeah, what I'm looking to do is find out what's in this thing so that I can use that as leverage in the discussion, right? So if this is something important, I want to know what it is so that I would know maybe how to break it or threaten to break it to reinsert myself into this conversation. But before I do that, I need to know what's inside the bag.
Okay.
And I need him to not know. I don't want him to know that I'm gaining this information.
So
Does
you
that make
want
sense?
you want it to come across as that we already knew this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know, like
I
we
want
know
it to
what's
seem like
going
he's
on.
totally blown, completely blown, but I need to know what's in the bag so that I can then pull out the ball peen hammer or the screwdriver or whatever it is that's going to effectively destroy this thing and say, if you don't want us to destroy your MacGuffin, and I want to name that MacGuffin, you need to comply. But I need to get this knowledge before I get to deliver that line.
Okay. Yes. Let's do it then.
Okay, so finesse, what's my position?
This is risky.
Okay.
Right? His attention is elsewhere between being yelled at and a gun in his face and his wrist crunched in this like weird metal contraption.
And there's
So
this dog
he's-
messing with
yeah,
him.
yeah. There's a big,
Okay.
big scary Taikarosi. Like it's bad for him right now. He's not paying super close attention to like, oh, somebody unbuckled my bag. So
Right. And I'll take on some stress to add a die here
okay.
because otherwise wouldn't have a die. And what is my effect?
Standard is you get hold of it and like you're able to check it out. Did you have harm? No, you don't have harm. Okay.
Okay, standard, and a 1 die because I'm taking on some stress.
Yes.
Yep.
Is it 1 point of stress?
It's 2 points of stress to give yourself a die.
All right, 2 points of stress for me to get the die. Okay, cool. And I will roll that. There it is. Whew. Man,
Okay.
glad that paid out.
Woo!
Yeah. So you get it out, and it is a large envelope. He's been out in the road on the rain. Road. What word am I looking for? He's been out in the rain here, and his bag is like waxed canvas. But this thing inside is also it's wrapped in like a waxed cloth kind of deal. But inside it's a big manila envelope. And inside there's a stack of like maybe 25 sheets of like kind of like parchment is kind of like heavy and crinkly, so like that's like pretty good stack of paper if it's parchments like that. But it's a whole bunch of documents. Some of them are like official looking documents and some of them are handwritten notes, and there's a few random photography of people isn't really a thing in the setting. But there's a lot of notes about people's comings and goings, and
so it's an information drop.
This is incriminating information. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Blackmail's so much better than drugs.
I want it so bad.
Yeah. Cool. Then to like add some fuel to this fire, Ohm is gonna stand up with the envelope and he's gonna hold it out like he's gonna throw it like away.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll say, he'll kind of like level his gaze at the wraith and say, this, what is it? We know what's in these papers, and if you leave now and never return, you can take them with you. I'm trying to sell that.
Well, I think the so you rolled a 5, which was a partial success. So I think the other side of that is that as you're there and you're kind of like you're holding out this envelope, like
Oh damn.
you can see like the envelope is wet and there's starting to be like splotches of ink like expanding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This thing.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, I'll close that so that it doesn't get worse.
I think if anything, that puts like a time sensitivity on
Yes.
this man's
Yeah.
answer.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. So I will close that and at least shield it back in the bag before I rise up with all of this, threatening to throw it out into the rain.
Yeah, and then I'll leverage the pistol a little more and say, "Clock's ticking."
Um, I feel like I want one more like something roll that is like this is the actual like convince him to give this place up kind of feel.
Yeah. How about
And that can be a group action at this point too, I think, if we really wanted it to.
What does a group action get us?
So everybody gets to roll.
Everybody gets to
essentially.
roll. Whatever the highest result is the one that takes effect for the entire
Whoever
group.
leads takes stress for every failure.
Ooh.
oh, that's right.
Who has the most amount of stress they can give?
I got 2 left.
I
Who-
got 3.
I got
Who has the
4.
most amount of stress they can give? Who's in a position to be the one making this like?
can
I
do
mean, Maribel could walk
Conversation.
up and
Yep,
and
I could
kind
do
of
it too.
lend it as well.
Maribel could actually. I think it would make the most sense for Maribel too, because you actually have skill in this arena.
Like
with consort
swaying,
and
because
stuff.
I think it's more like
Sway.
swaying than it would be commanding at this point. Because this is like we've given you
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll sway and I'll take the
Okay.
stress, I guess.
Okay. So would you want to do it as a group action where everybody's going to make a sway?
Yeah, because I think, and then at some point we'll pepper in the part of the conversation where there's also a rifle trained on him. So that might
Yeah.
not.
Well, I
be-
mean,
Oh, yeah.
if Griffith wants to come back across to here, and so he's on hand for this thing. If he's like,
Oh yeah, no. I
if
thought I was
if you
going
wanted to
across.
threaten him by like pointing the gun axe in his face, that's on the table
the
too.
gun
you know?
axe.
The gun
I
axe.
I don't want to be
Oh,
rolling
okay.
sway. I'd much rather assist with. I'd much rather spend stress to assist with sway.
Okay, that's fine. We can do that
Yeah.
too. That would give me 3 dice.
You know what?
Because
I
I
would
can
like to-
I can also roll sway. Like not everybody has to participate
In the group
roll,
action. Okay, cool.
I don't think.
Okay.
I think it's like whoever wants to, and then people can assist those people who are participating, and
But
Kinda mix and
someone has to
match.
take for the group action. Someone has to take the stress hit, right?
right.
If
For
there
the
are failures, yeah.
Okay.
I'll
take the stress hit.
Can me coming out brandishing my gun axe be an assist also, like to get the help?
Yes.
Like to help give a greater effect. I
Yeah,
guess at
like
this point.
that's the on-screen version of like the spending of the stress point to help if you want it to do
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely.
I'll do that.
So
I think
Ohm
I'm
and
just. I mean, they're
Ghost are
both assisting
assisting.
me. Yeah.
Well, you can
um,
only get 1 die from an assist. So I think Maribel has an extra die and Demas has an extra die.
Yeah.
okay, that works.
Position.
Risky.
An effect.
Effect.
If you want to take, well, I'll use mine for effect, like my extra thing instead of an extra die. I'll take effect so that I can just have a standard effect, right?
You mean from Griffith's assist?
Yeah, from Griffith's
That
assist,
assist
otherwise.
assisting someone is always a die.
Okay.
And
Changing
also-
position and effect is pushing
Gotcha.
yourself.
And also we're attacking him on 2 fronts. The 2 of you are threatening. It seems like the 2 of you are threatening his life right here and now, and the
Mhm.
2 of us are threatening
Kid's livelihood.
and his crew's livelihood, right?
Mhm.
Because we're gonna throw away these papers, and that's gonna impact a lot of people.
So
So effect.
I think the effect would be based on Mirabelle, right? Since I'm like group action, I'm just rolling for more
Right.
dice.
Okay, yeah. So we'll do standard for effect.
For both of us.
And I have 1 bonus die from someone helping me.
And I have 1 bonus die.
Yes.
Come on, baby.
Okay, mine's not a failure, so you're good on the stress front. But roll better than me, please.
Can I push myself?
Yes.
So it'll give me 2 extra. So I have 1
So you
from
spend
David.
2. Yeah, you spend 2 stress to give yourself a die. You have an extra die from David.
Two
Nice.
5s and a 1.
It's a lot of 5s.
Take the 5. That's good.
Come on, honey.
Give me a reason. Did we?
No, Mike's thinking.
No, I'm thinking, yeah, because that's not
Sorry,
a
that's
full success.
Total
Yeah,
success.
it's either it's a success with a complication or it's only partial success.
Bring on the complications, baby.
Yeah, I'll take yeah.
So I think the obvious one is that, like, seeing that he's in this situation is that he will say yes. But you know that this is, like, causing shit with the Wraiths. Like, they're not going to be happy with this overall.
Mhm.
So they're going to come for you at some point.
Very well.
So yeah,
Very well. Yep,
Um,
yep.
I'll go find the faction chart and give them a -1. So
Yeah.
We
He's
ain't here
still
to make
stuck
friends.
in the thing, right?
For the moment.
Okay. Since he's gonna have to get out of that thing, I'd like to read some of those papers. But we'll deal with the first problem first.
yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of, like, ink that's on them now at this point. Actually, he's mostly probably going to be pissed that his ride is busted because he wants to get the hell out of here.
No, that sucks.
Oops.
Yeah,
But like he'll basically, like, okay, the envelope. Do you let him out of the thing? Right, like, there's question 1. Do we release the trap that lets him out and Demas? Because Demas is clamped in here too, and
sure.
this is, like, becoming increasingly uncomfortable. So
Yeah, but while we let him out, I do have the gun axe.
Yeah, we got plenty of
Yeah.
weapons on him, so we can let him out.
Okay. Then I will release the trap. And give them both back their wrists.
okay.
I will trade with the doohickey for the duffel bag.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll give her the bag and I'll take the contraption.
Okay.
And give it a look over.
Who has the envelope?
She does.
It is in the duffel bag that I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been keeping the envelope out of the rain as much as we can.
He'll take, like, the whole duffel bag, and he basically, like, he throws it into, like, the dumbwaiter chute and just lets it fall at this point. It's like, whatever. He does he turns around so that he can back towards where there's that wooden plank to get off to, like, the next roof to try to leave. He does have like a flintlock pistol. Like, he doesn't, like, point it directly at anybody, but he's got it, like, aimed down, and he's like, I'm leaving. Like, you guys just stay there, I'll be gone. Right? He's just trying to cover his own exit with it.
Cool. I think when he gets about, like, 3 feet from the next roof, I'll kick the board off.
Yes.
He's there. He can catch.
Or not.
Or not.
Holy shit.
Yes, because they're already pissed at us. Let's kill one of them.
I mean,
it's a calculated risk.
This
the
would
Wraiths are
change.
tier 2.
This would change the nature of the heat. And the notoriety, because then maybe they don't know that it's us.
I mean, he's not necessarily, like, I'm trying to scare the guy. I'm not trying to kill him.
He's gonna fall off.
He's got a couple. I'm waiting till he gets, like, almost over there, and then I'm gonna kick the board out from under him so, like, he can catch it.
Sounds the race about. He
So
falls
yes.
like John Wick.
He does. He like, I think he loses the flintlock pistol, but, like, he manages to grab the other roof before he
That's what I
actually
was looking
goes
for.
down.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go collect that.
And I'll like as he climbs up on the other roof, I'll give him a bow and a wave.
Oh,
I
he
just
has
chuckle.
any number of like gestures for you in response. Yeah.
Oh man.
I
Yeah,
love those
Demas will look around and say, "No one's paid us for those letters, so would someone like to go collect those?"
Absolutely. And I am on that like white on rice.
Okay.
And I'll work on resecuring this dumbwaiter.
All right. Yeah.
With-
so we
with
we
our
can we can
own-
kind of sift through these kind of end of score things here because I don't
Yeah.
want to keep us all night with this.
I think I would like to also just like leave a note, like instead of the letters, there is a note saying, "Please direct payment to such and such crew
Mhm.
in the future.
Okay.
Delivery made upon payment."
Flipping through the documents that are in there, the stuff that's in there, this is all incriminating evidence, like opposition research. And if you're reading it near where Demas is at, he'll recognize like one of the other names as being like another one of the outcast Scovlin houses.
Oh, I mean, this is definitely leaving with me.
Yeah.
So we'll have plenty of time to talk about that.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, and you're leaving the note saying, if you want your papers, contact the Faceless.
Yeah, you would need to pay us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's sort of
blackmail and secrets are sort of my thing. So
cool.
Awesome. This is
That's
gonna be
that's gonna be our like twisting the arm a little bit.
I love it. Yeah, let's swing for the fences. Go for broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we can kind of wrap up the score there, and if we can try to get through XP here quick. We do give you guys, you do have your covert drops now, so check that here on your sheet. You get
Yay.
+2 coin for espionage and sabotage missions.
Yay.
So when they pay us for that blackmail we stole, 2 extra coin.
It'll be worth 2 coin, yeah. Okay, so for the crew, did we execute a successful espionage, sabotage, or theft operation? Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
I'll add 1 there.
Just barely.
Contend with challenges above your current situation? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
Yes.
I think
So our reputation is strange. I don't think we were particularly weird this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we might have taken a step to being more
Just tough guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew is the last one, and that's the one that's like kind of nebulous. And I think this was a step towards you guys being information brokery, like that kind of espionage direction.
Yeah.
So that does seem reasonable. That puts the crew 1 XP away from getting another upgrade. So
Nice.
Cool. That means you're 1 XP away from your workshop.
Yeah, let's run through character XP then. Because I know everybody hasn't.
Just rolling in it.
Well,
I got
the stat XP and then like the XP from like the character triggers are separate. So, but yeah, so everybody has like the one that is specific to your playbook. So Maribel, what's yours? I should say you addressed a challenge with something or
deception or
subterfuge.
influence.
Okay.
Which deception when talking to Flint.
Yep.
And influence when kind of leveraging the guy, right? That was our big thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
Persuade
the
him.
end thing.
Okay, so that's 2 XP. Griffith, what does it say for Hound there?
Every time you address your challenge with tracking or violence, I did that with tracking the guy, and then
just take the 2 XP.
Yeah. Go
You
for
did
the
it.
2.
All right.
So many times.
Ohm?
I had some technical skill in there, some mayhem.
I mean, the trap is definitely one at least.
Right.
Trying to think.
Well, then he had to rig it again. Like,
Yeah, like mid-combat rigging the trap
Yeah.
to make
And
it
then
actually stick.
also you worked on the masks and stuff like that, which is approaching.
That was a
challenge.
downtime action, though, right? That
Well, it's
Right,
it's
you still
it's
approach
during
the
the
challenge.
session.
Downtime.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's globally session based.
Sweet. I'll take that.
Yep.
I'll take the 2.
So that's
Thank you.
2. Okay. And Demas.
Mine is calculation or conspiracy.
I think at the end there,
A lot of calculated risks.
you definitely did that right at the end there. We're like, oh, we're going to sell these to the buyer. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then also like putting my hand in the trap was like kind of a calculated risk there because I was also going to be stuck and it could have completely taken me out of any chase that happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So is that 1 or 2?
I think
vote
it's 2
2.
different things, right?
Okay.
I vote 2.
2. Okay. Did anyone express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
So
We had some Scotland speak. I'd take maybe 1 for that.
one
Okay.
of my drives is gathering info.
Okay.
Also,
No,
I
that-
filled all my little red things in playbook advancement
Okay. Then
before
if
I
you
get
hit
this 1 XP.
before you get okay, so if you click the X to the left of it, it'll clear them all out, and then you can tick 1 starting over again, and you'll get to take another special ability.
Oh, another special ability. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Oh, let me look at this.
And
Yeah.
I was doing some of that during the beginning when we were talking with the
Mhm.
records keeper and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah,
like,
I'm just taking 1 for that one because I don't think it was super present. It'll definitely be more present in the aftermath of this,
mhm.
right? But
After the stream, I'll talk about my upgrade to see which one you guys think I should do because I'm kind of conflicted.
And the other one is you struggled with issues from your vice or trauma, and nobody has a trauma, and we've still never indulged vice, so
correct.
we
Gonna have
avoid
to
that
next
Will
one.
be next time.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
I got, like, I can
Fill those
safely
stress
indulge
meters.
my
Come on.
vice.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, not what I'm trying to do. Where is my?
I'm ready for this trauma. I'm ready to get this trauma on.
Yeah.
Okay. After the score. Okay. Payoff. Is 2 rep per score by default. If the target is a higher tier, take +1 rep per tier higher. So that is 4 rep.
Yay, 4 rep.
Coin. This wasn't really a coin type of score.
Yeah.
So there's no money that comes out of it.
It's fine. We haven't spent a lot of money lately.
1, 2, 3, 4 rep. So there's 4 left in the rep meter until that fills. No coin.
Heat time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sorry, I was just thinking of it says subtract coin equal to your tier +1 if you pay a tithe to a ward boss or larger organization, but this wasn't in Crow's Foot, so the crows aren't particularly on tap for like being owed for it.
They get
I'm sure
nothing.
they'd still take it. Yeah.
We don't know who
Getting-
we don't know who the ward boss is for 6 Towers.
No.
We probably will soon.
Okay, heat after a score or conflict with an opponent, the crew takes heat at +1 heat for a high profile or well connected target. +1 if the situation happened on hostile turf. +1 if you're at war. +2 if anyone dies. So, was this smooth and quiet, contained with standard exposure, loud and chaotic, or wild with devastating exposure?
It was contained, right? Because it was just the one dude on the roof. I don't think we really made a ton of noise, but
Literally, his hand was contained.
Yeah.
I mean, he did scream a lot, but it doesn't look like he got any attention.
I mean, I
really.
don't think we were like, it was contained to that one roof, right? I don't think we were really making a big fuss everywhere necessarily. But like, if you want to toss on some extra heat for the way we went about it, I think that would be fair.
Okay. One that I will mention that I should have brought up earlier. It was in when I put that Basso Buzz's gun access thing in the chat. I had the box open expanded, and there's a note on there that says plus conspicuous, and that is if you use a conspicuous item in a score, it's +1 heat.
Okay.
Wow.
Makes sense.
So
Okay.
sorry, I should have mentioned that before.
That's
It makes a lot of sense. You mentioned it was a famous gun, and we decided to show it off, and so that makes a lot of sense.
And now the Wraiths know that we have it, so.
And they're mad at us.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I missed when we came to a conclusion on like how chaotic it was.
Like
We said
averagely
contained.
chaotic. Like
Average?
contained
Okay.
one. Yeah. But I think
So
maybe
that's
pick up some extra for the way we went about it, maybe.
Yeah, that's 2 for the score itself, +1 for the busting out the gun axe. They weren't a particularly well connected target, so that's not really a thing. +1 because you were on somebody else's turf. So that's 4 heat.
Cool. 4 rep, 4 heat.
Yep.
Perfect. I would do that.
So
It's honest work.
Is it?
sure, let's call it that.
But it's almost work.
That's right. Thank you.
Sorry, I need to do a fortune roll, so I need to find a thing that'll let me trigger a fortune roll.
Oh, for entanglements?
Yes.
Who's getting their shit kicked in this time? Probably me. It's always me.
What does entanglements do?
That's
It's
just
something
stuff
else that
that
comes up as a
happens.
complication as a side effect of having done the score.
Mm.
Oh, there's always some consequence.
But it was 0 dice, so that's a 1.
Yay.
Oh, wow. Good.
I mean, I don't know that the entanglements necessarily have that kind of thing to it per se.
Mm.
Oh, maybe you still get one?
Yeah, no, it's more of a chart than it is like a
Yeah, it's a
success
weird
mix.
kind of cross-reference thing. So
I think a higher roll is actually worse sometimes, depending on the chart you're rolling on.
the higher the roll, the worse it is, but it's also the more heat you have when you make the roll.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
like
worse the outcomes anyway.
you guys have 5 heat total right now, which puts you in like the middle column. And those ones are like, they can be kind of dangerous, but like arrest isn't unless you have like more than 6 heat on you at the time, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Hey, I can actually indulge my vice next session.
Me too.
Oh, let me see.
Let's
Let
go
me pick
gambling
out-
together.
We do not gamble in the same place.
If we get
sir.
questioning again, can we send Bazo Baz again?
No.
Because his gun axe was out and about.
Totally, dude. Yes.
This guy's gonna hate. We're gonna end up at war.
It's okay. There's a separate clock for him. Anyway, don't worry.
Yes.
Oh no.
That clock just went forward a couple of dots.
Oh, he's gonna be so mad.
I'm still great friends with him. I don't know what's going on.
Can't wait for that to blow up. That's gonna be
Oh,
a
it's
fun.
gonna be just awesome when it does, right?
It's gonna be a fun disaster.
I am gonna string that along as long as possible.
I'm sorry. I keep closing like all the handouts that I needed to be looking at in Roll20 here. It's like last thing I need to figure out. Okay.
Oh, that was fun. I like this one. This one was way more fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
I'm glad we didn't like commit to that poop infested basement.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the players like us are like, oh, let's be clever and go check all the things. It's like, This is maybe not the path you should go on. Cool. Thanks, GM, for filling that room full of crap.
Yeah,
Literally.
pretty much. Like, all right. I was like, get the hint. We'll go back upstairs.
Yeah.
It was funny because it's like, out of all of us, I'm the only one that could probably go in that water because I have resistance to poison.
Oh,
and
nice.
my asthma and all that. So it's like,
Okay, so the fun part here is that they grab Brill, the drug dealer, for questioning. They take them into the Bluecoats, take them in, and they end up
Darn.
talking, which ends up giving you +2 heat.
oh, awesome.
Who's friends with Brill? Is anyone friends with Brill?
No,
I'm not
you're
friends with
enemies
Brill.
with Brill. That's why Brill
I
was
am enemies
glad
with
to
Brill.
talk. That's yeah. So
I
you
guess
got
like-
questioning. The Bluecoats grab an NPC member of your crew or one of the crew's contacts to question them about your crimes. Make a fortune roll to see how much they talk. 1 to 3 +2 heat. 4 or 5 +1 heat. So
Took my enemy.
I like that. I keep forgetting that all of these people are our friends. It's just one of them is our better friend and one of them is our rival. But like we know all of these people. I keep forgetting that.
So sounds like one of us needs to go talk to the captain of the blue coat.
That could
Try not
certainly
to.
be a way to reduce heat next time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're like, who is this man spreading lies about us? You never.
Okay.
6 towers. That's so
3,
far from
4,
Crow's Foot.
5,
Yeah.
6.
I don't even know the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now you're at 7 heat. If you accrue 2 more heat, then that rolls over and you start to have a wanted level.
Yes.
I
mean,
think
we
we're definitely
want
going to
that
work
though,
on
right?
getting heat down. That
Yeah.
At least
Okay.
one or two of us is.
Yes. Okay, so that's all I have for you for tonight. Thank you for sitting through the paperwork portion at the end
Good
here.
job, Mike.
Next time we'll
Yeah.
roll back around and we'll get through downtime actions and start to see what all is going on in the city because there's more news going on. I mean, Brill's talking. Lampblacks were all over the goddamn place. What the hell's up with that?
Right.
Newspapers
maybe we
talking
should
about the
figure that one
Hysteria
out.
Festival. I don't even know what that is, but
Oh, Kenny94550. I heard from Legend Keeper they sent you your invite, so check your email. It might be in your spam. Go be on the lookout for that.
But it's
Mike,
not
dude, thanks a
spam.
ton for running this game. This has been fantastic.
Yeah.
This was fun, Mike. Thank you.
thank you. Cool.
Thanks,
Thanks
sir.
for coming out. Thanks everybody who stuck around to watch.
Yeah,
We'll be
and
back.
Actually, real quick, I do want to do a raid. I want to send our lovely audience to another group, which is awesome. We've got 2 groups playing board games, which maybe we're not into that so much, and we've got a group playing RPG. So I'm going to send everyone over to Happy Jacks, which is playing. What are
Happy
they playing?
Jacks.
Oh, they're playing Masks, powered by the
Nice.
Apocalypse.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Masks
All right.
is
Cool.
so good.
So yeah, we're gonna go from one chat. We're gonna go from one powered by the Apocalypse game to another, sort of.
Probably Apocalypse adjacent.
Yeah. Our game is adjacent to powered by the Apocalypse.
It's on the website. Whether or not
Yeah.
they consented to that, I think is the question.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna just send you over to Happy Jacks. They're an awesome crew. They've been streaming for ever.
Many,
they're like
many moons.
they're like one of the first. So thanks a ton, everyone, for tuning in. This has been a blasty blast.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Have fun,
See ya.
play well.
Hey, all
All
your
your
rolls
rolls
be
be crits.
crits.